What have you done, Kate? Tradition.
Tradition.
Just mime a bunch, Simon. Just mime a bunch like you're talking.
I should do my intro.
There you go. I don't know why it wasn't working. I just needed to turn it off and on again in that classic sort of way.
Oh yeah, you do an IT. What?
Okay, cool. I did notice that OBS goes to default. The new version's OBS goes to default, which isn't always your setup. So
yeah. I had it all set up, but I literally anyway.
Okay, can I be heard now?
Yeah, so it's registering. I'm seeing it, so you can ask chat if you can, but I can see it now.
Let's get started again. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Benefactor Chaotic Neutral Games. I'm Simon, your DM for tonight, as we join Corinne, Felicia, Kate, Nick, and Rodrigo with their adventures in Ilaria. Don't forget that you can help or indeed hinder. Check out the options in the chat bar below. You can also join us on our Discord community by checking out the link in the channel. I also feel weird saying channel notes, channel info, whatever, the bit that's below. And you can support us with what we're doing by becoming a subscriber. So, with no further ado, let's continue with episode 122 of The Benefactor.
Who was doing covers, vocal only covers of something.
No. Okay. No, it's still not working. What the Okay, it doesn't like this. Okay, I'm going to go back to this Go XLR thing and see if that works.
Oh, can you hear us?
Are we live?
Blink 2 for yes.
Okay, that works, and they can hear me. We're good.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Hello.
Yeah.
We were shaming our younger players for not knowing the actual film Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the reference because I heard Simon do it, but I don't know where.
Yeah. It's like I saw the meme. That still means you know nothing. It's like I tried to educate Corinne the other day by showing her Ghostbusters, as in the original, because the new film's coming out and it's based on the original.
Yeah, and it's gonna be good.
It looks
so
still angry you haven't seen original Ghostbusters, Corinne.
Yeah. Like,
it's
my daughter's watched it.
Considering that it was the film of my childhood.
Yeah.
Like, I had a little Ghostbusters jumper that I insisted I wore every single day.
I was
obviously.
My mum was not allowed to wash it.
Oh, Hermit said that they could hear our conversation through the intro clips.
They heard a moment of it.
So we don't have to explain what we were doing.
They heard a moment of it, but they didn't hear the whole thing because I muted it deliberately. But
we're just on point today, huh?
This is what this is the brand. This is what should happen.
We promise nothing and deliver less. There we go.
And yet I am still somehow disappointed.
I'm trying to just. Okay, I think I'm on. I think I'm repeated. Okay, if I turn this off, there we go. I'm still being heard. Okay.
Okay, cool. Right. Last session, let's see, we had various conversations. Aiden invited the heads of Clan Duplantier, House Duplantier, House Blackdew, and House Navarrete. The other blood hunters, basically, the Profane Soul, the Mutants, and the Lycans, to come and talk about a concerted effort, I think is probably the best description. Aiden didn't turn around and say, hey, I want to be the boss of you all, but said that you should all be working together. And the person who normally proposes that is normally the one who's leading that charge. But they seem to take it quite well in their own individual mannerisms.
Managed to get quite far with my -1 charisma.
Yeah.
To be fair, it was kind of like pariah talking to pariah, so you were kind of okay on that score. It's like, I'm not very convincing. It's a case of, it's okay, we have no friends. We'd turn up if it was a sales pitch. Timeshare, I'm in, yeah.
No. Oh no.
So yeah, you guys finished that off, and you decided to wait until the Duskhold opened up in Attal's-Aran. You were able to lock onto it because Aiden had been there before, and it required Aiden's will to lock onto it. Obviously, can only work in this plane of existence. And you stepped out and went into Zania.
Yep.
Which is the arcane city in Attal's-Aran, and also the alma mater of Glory, the university and the training grounds for arcanists. Most of the arcane-based Tezcatlipoca's based there, including her own mentor, Insight, who just gave a passing hello and greeting before leaving you to your own devices.
Being a bit like, why didn't you tell me you turned into a half dragon?
Well,
she was a little hurt.
I gave her a heads up. That's more information she can use, and it shows that I still favor her. It's a simple two-way street.
Have you seen the gif of Bugs Bunny sawing Florida off of the United States? I wish we could do that with Skara.
Yeah.
Just separate, it goes over there, far away from anything else.
Yeah.
Already
it is far away.
All right, so take it one step further. Just send the entire place.
Soar it off this plane of existence.
Yeah, completely put it into a different plane of existence.
And all that'll be in the void is Scalra and Scorm's shoes.
Yes.
So you did some research already, and you're still doing it. So you found various references, and most importantly, you found out the name of the pit fiend, Barakymos. Barakymos. I will put it into chat.
Yep.
I found a bunch of succubus porn.
You found a bunch of succubus porn, which was the only reference. It didn't have a picture. It had general, as I say, what seemed to be almost like a 13-year-old, hormone-driven pictures of succubuses. But this was an actual scholar. What can I say? He stayed in uni and didn't grow up. And the list down the side had a list of known succubi and incubi. And in that list was the only time that you have seen the word Carnitava.
Yeah.
Okay. So you walk into the library proper to start checking out your tactics to either get one over on Excellence or be ready for Barakymos. Cora, you're still stuck in the Feywild at the moment, which is a convenient plot point for last week. And so I'm going to say to the rest of you who are in the library, which I think at the moment is Glory, Eclipse, and
Yeah.
Actually, Simon,
Yeah.
sorry, but didn't you say last session that at the beginning of this session you were going to go through Korra's Fae existential crisis?
I was, but I want to do this part first before I do that.
That's fine. I can have an existential crisis another time. I don't need to go through one tonight.
Oh, it's got to be tonight because you got to have it to get back.
Oh, God.
So...
This many existential crises to proceed.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys looking to do in the library? What are you looking up?
Well, we figure out their names, and we have found whatever little we could on Carnitava to sate eclipses.
Yeah, I found some succubus porn, and I guess that was enough.
Okay, sure.
But I'm thinking we found out a little bit about this general, but I want to look up a bit more because, as you said, he was quite different from like the common pit fiend, and I want to look up like strategies surrounding how to not only deal with that type of leveled devil, but also like different strategies to defeat them, one-up them, etc. Because I assume we should have that.
Okay. He's a brute, is the short of it. I told you last time he was a frontliner in the Blood War.
Yeah.
When he first started, he was effectively this giant brute, and he was a trophy wearer as well. He was effectively a Goristro. And he would like tear the head off a giant demon, wear it around his neck to show, I can do this and you're next. He ended up he basically just out of rebellion, broke away from the ranks in the army that he was in, and basically had like a devil mercenary band that still fought the Blood War just on his own terms. Eventually, there was a bit of a power vacuum, and he got called into one of the armies of highest renown. And after that, there was other political machinations, and the general of this large army fell from favor. And he fell from favor because, remembering putting 2 and 2 together, that it was actually the Juradan event.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Pit Fiend that had that army was the one who was moving on Juradan. When he broke the rules of Asmodeus, instead of, because there are a huge amount of rules in hell, even though it's all evil based, when he broke the rules and wasn't able to defend himself, more importantly, he wasn't able to find a loophole to have himself pardoned, he got struck down and weakened. And when he did that, Barachimus went in for the kill, finished him off, and as a result, absorbed all the power of that Pit Fiend into himself, becoming the Pit Fiend that he is today. He still has the huge Goristro horns, huge mantling wings, and compared to a lot of Pit Fiends, which tend to be quite bilious and bulging, he's actually ripped as fuck. And yeah, he's just this incredibly ripped, 4-story tall, Goristro horned, winged Pit Fiend. He's not the greatest thinker, but he gets around that by never thinking.
Okay. Yeah, like that would make sense why Excellence thinks he can use him if he's not that smart to begin with.
Yeah, because Excellence definitely thinks he's smarter.
Oh, without a question. This is Excellence we're talking about.
Yes. Yeah. Can we use that against Excellence, like his perceived wits?
Oh, yeah. I've been doing it for years.
Okay.
If he thinks he has the upper hand, he lets his guard down.
Okay, so I thought your point was that you were gonna lord it over him, that you know something, but are you gonna pretend that you don't?
Oh, I am.
Oh, okay.
And that is what's gonna piss him off into revealing more.
All right. Okay. Because he'll be like, well, you know that, but you don't know this. Is that
I
pretty much
don't think it'll go quite like that, but you can get a lot out of people by showing them that you actually know things. But yeah, like it's good to know what he's dealing with. Other than that, oh yeah, I wanted to look into containers since we.
Oh yeah, can you like? We should probably look into if you can like split your body into like parts.
You already looked into that. Yes, there
Oh
are.
yeah,
The thing is that you looked at that in the Dust Cold.
Yeah.
The problem is there's too many ways of doing it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the issue with that. There's been so much information gathering that it gets a bit tiring. Well then, I suppose there's one more thing we need to do here before morning.
What's that?
Leave a red herring. Let's go look up something entirely unrelated.
Oh, right.
After all, people will try and figure out what I was after in the library. So by looking up stuff that are not correlating with what we actually wanted, they will know which one of the things were the herring.
Should we look stuff about? It still needs to be believable. So maybe like something about the Kraken.
We could look up the Kraken again. We could also
lineages.
do some minor.
The easiest thing to throw people off what we're actually trying to do. Look up lineages, bloodlines.
Oh yes.
Relationship.
Royalty. We could
royalty.
look up both the Meridian sector as well as the Vaden court, because they already know I'm in league with the Ostergold.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you read upon Meridia.
Mm-hmm.
So Meridia is fairly new as a country. Around about, I think it's about 400, 500 years ago, Meridia was still a collection of small countries. Valdencourt was on the decline, and these small kingdoms who were currently paying fealty to the emperor of the time decided that they would like their fucking country back, if you don't mind. And so they decided to come together, and they decided that the only way that they'd be able to continue to survive, obviously this is spearheaded by the people who were closest to Ostergold, was to get together and form a large country, roughly the size of Ostergold. They also tried to get the Celtillans to join in, but the Celtillans basically said no, because the Celtillans had held off the empire.
Yeah.
Largely because it was the whole Poland thing of, not Poland, Russia thing of, you try to go into the Celtillans, if you can't deal with the incredibly cold temperatures and the strange mountains and the knights who fly around on magical gliders, you're pretty much going to die. And that was basically it. It just wasn't worth their time.
So isn't Celtillans where the Dread Scar is?
Yes, that the Celtillans had still have the descendants of the heroes who took down Orcus. So the way that the Vardencourt Empire said is that they let them have their autonomy out of respect.
Yes.
Honest gov.
Yes.
Politics.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, as the empire fell, the Meridians all got together and they decided to make a high king. And the High King is for any gender. It's always considered to be the High King. And they got together. So that was two dwarven nations, and that is the Black Forges and the Grey Helms. Then you've got the Harrons, who were kind of field knights, I guess. And so they worked for the Empire begrudgingly when they were under that. There was the Dioran family, who were just an old offshoot of the nobility, which made up part of the Vardencourt nobility. Although they did have a long-running bloodline going back to some orcs. So there were orcs that have supported the Dioran family for a very long time, and now the current ruler of the Daeron Canton is a half-orc. Then you had the Amberglades, and they are a bunch of high elves, and then there was a bunch of other houses and things as well that came together. And since coming together, they have become a force to be reckoned with, to the point where even Scowra respects them now, whereas previously it was just a bunch of wannabe kings who basically had the land the size of Nova Scotia. Now it's a huge country that works very well, crosses a number of biomes and things like that, so they are as close to self-sustaining as you can get. And they also benefit from a lot of mixed culture as well. So you have dwarven artifice, you have elven magic, you've got human technology, everything is just available there. And so, yeah, Meridia is, as I say, fairly new, and the current line of High Kings comes from a mixture of a lot of the bloodlines. Not the dwarves. The dwarves are always happy not being part of that, as long as certain demands were kept, which was part of the pact. There have been some half-elven High Kings as well. So the Amberglades have also been part of that.
Interesting.
Long bloodline.
Yes, that was some random history stuff.
Yeah, some random history. But it makes it look like Glory is looking into different powerful entities around where she is currently based.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up now.
Oh no. We set the books on fire.
They're protected against that.
And what was the roll
5.
itself? Roll a 5. Oh, okay. Okay, this is going to be fun. Let's. I need to look something up. So yeah, you're reading up on various bloodlines and things like that, and we'll call that an asset. You can use that. Now I need to look up something that I need to plop in to the game literally. So.
You know, it never bodes well for us when Simon has to look things up due to wild magic.
Yes. Oh no. Oh no.
Let's take that off.
Oh no. I'm scared.
Well, it all depends on which of the tables he has to roll on.
Well, I don't think any of them are particularly nice.
The newest one looked a bit interesting.
My phone needs to go. I have gotten this far.
Yes.
Okay. You are part of the way through when there's a sudden kind of squeaking noise, like two flat surfaces screeching against each other. And as you're looking around for the source of the noise, geometrically, just a block of air in front of you folds itself into many directions and angles, and a creature pops out. This creature looks very much like this.
It's a Modron.
We've met the Modrons before. Glory turns to Farewell. What did you do now?
It's effectively a D4 with 3 legs, 3 arms, one coming out of each corner, and a big eye in the middle of each of the 3 top faces.
Oh yeah, because I was the one who started interplanar war with Modrons.
First of all, most of what I do tends to be in the realm of eldritch horror. There's not very much eldritch about that.
No, but you did start an
Second-
interplanar war between them and the Feywild.
We fixed that. And
So
it was
why
all
is there a
gravy.
Modron here now? What's with the
I don't
Modron?
know. Why don't somebody ask the Modron that's not me? Because I
The
don't
eyes
particularly
roll
want
on
to get-
every surface as it looks around and panicking. It immediately shoots out 3 large spikes, one on each hand, that it then holds as like spears, I guess. The closest person to this is 1, 2, 3. The closest person is Eclipse, and it's going to make 3 attacks against the abomination that's in front of it.
Hey, calm down. There's no need to be getting violent.
Attack
You're a
number
little
1
triangle.
is a 7, so you dodge that one.
Yes,
Attack number 2 is a 6, you dodge that one.
yes.
And attack number 3 is an 8. This is not a very high CP, as you can imagine. Challenge rating 1/2.
Yes. If I touch it, it explodes.
Little friend, we have no idea why you are here. Could you explain what happened?
Oh boy.
I cast tongues. I'm
Yeah,
curious.
Thank you.
How long does it take you to cast tongues?
It's an
Action.
action, I think, if she spends the spell slot.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. In that case, you know this is a Modron. So
Yeah, it's an action.
grants the creature you touch with the ability to understand any spoken language it hears.
You can touch
When
yourself.
the target speaks, any creature knows that at least one.
Yeah.
So, well, if you touch yourself, you will
Sounds
understand
dirtier
it.
than it is.
But you could touch it, and it could understand us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, are you gonna do tongues on it or you?
I'll do tongues
You can
on
do
it.
then you and just blow 2 spell slots, but
Yeah. It will be easier if I understand what it's saying, because it won't be able to talk to us anyways.
okay.
'Cause if it doesn't speak common, then it's even if it understands us, we won't understand it.
Yeah, but this isn't concentration, so you can do yourself as well.
Yeah.
So you do yourself first, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to repeat what it says. It is a string of words basically registering every abomination in the room. It's describing a table, a book, all of you, everybody else that's in there, the big fucking aboleth that's above you. It's describing everything at rapid speed.
Right. Well, I don't think it's supposed to be here. Can you banish it?
Can I?
Yes, if you can banish it and it will go back to its own plane of existence.
I don't think I prepared banish today. No, Farewell did not prepare banish today. Farewell cannot banish
Technically,
today.
it's a new day. We arrived at dusk.
Well, that's night.
Yeah.
It's going to continue to try to attack the cat. So, natural 20. So,
Oh, yes.
I cancel that.
sure. So that's still just a regular hit. Get ready.
Oh, yeah.
Take 4 points of piercing damage as one of its...
I'm so happy you cancelled my 8 points of damage that fell.
It's a reaction. Like Farewell would just no matter what, where he sees it's kind of like in anime where suddenly goes and it zooms in. There's all the speed lines. It's all natural to be like, no, wait, stop, and then it's it just goes beep.
The next one is 18, which hits. So take another 6 points.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Simon, I say entangle, and the rope from my belt shoots out and wraps up the Modron.
Okay.
I have a
rope of binding.
A rope of binding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's fine. It missed its last attack anyway.
Rope of entanglement. So
rope of entanglement. That's it. So what's the save to get out?
Dex save, DC 15.
Okay. I need to do a few of these. So
Well, that he is somewhat
18
constrained.
on the natural. It slips
Oh,
out
wow.
because it's really hard to tie up a pyramid.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
Well, that's on. Is that at the end of his turn, or is that like?
That was on the third turn that he had.
Okay, so but Felicia said she was going to do something.
Yeah,
what are you
like
doing?
while he is trying to get out, I will reach out and touch it to cast tongues on it so that it can understand common.
Sure.
Then I will be. Okay, now that you understand me, I am sorry you have shown up here, but we do not know why this anomaly happened. Could you explain to us?
Why does the abomination speak the pure language?
The pure
Because I am not an abomination, and in fact, am
Incorrect.
a constant.
Incorrect. You're very much an abomination. You are not of the plane of logic, therefore you are an abomination.
Ah, but you are under the assumption that we are on the plane of logic, not on the plane of common.
We're
Hypothesis
Here.
proposed.
the
Here
prime
we are
material.
not, in fact, abominations. You are.
Glory, do not give it an existential crisis.
Yes.
This is a being of pure logic and
I
order.
am abomination.
Just tell it that we're on the prime material plane.
I am. You guys don't understand what Glory is
No.
saying.
Yeah, we do, because you speak in common.
Yeah, you're speaking
yeah.
common.
Yeah.
I am abomination.
Don't tell it.
You must destroy.
No, don't make it suicidal.
Oh God, I am not murdering a small modron because we've made it question its place in the universe.
I am incorrect. I am corrupting. You must destroy.
No.
All right.
No.
We can destroy you.
No.
We will just send
Or
it back.
you could return to your to your people, and they can sort out whatever corruption has happened.
Return? Yes. Returned into the right place. Go
Yes.
to your correct place. I go to my correct place.
Yes.
This is order.
Mm-hmm.
When the dawn comes, I will send it back.
I think we'll disappear in a minute, but
Please. Well, we don't know that.
No.
Please, let's not melt the tiny modron. It's not
No,
like
no,
it
no.
can do anything.
I wasn't planning on it. Very well.
Do not melt the tiny modron. The tiny modron is the correct shape.
True.
Melting the tiny modron will make abomination.
Yes, and we can't have abominations.
No. Agreed. Hypothesis
Thusly,
confirmed.
the modron should wait until dawn for then we can send it back to the correct place.
The modron will wait to signature word dawn,
Yes.
and then it disappears.
Do you know what we should have done? We should have just asked it to point out which one of these pictures were a tree and just watch it just not do anything for like 10 hours. It would have just been...
Probably would have worked, but hey.
What is it with us where just random magical things just happen?
Don't know. It happens so often now, and it makes me wonder. It's like we're walking around with a fucking wild mage.
Yeah, it's just...
A scholar looks up and goes, that's because you're incredibly powerful with magic. I mean, the glory of Frania, you are well
Do
known.
you
Father
mind?
Farewell.
We're having a conversation. Why? What is it with people in libraries and universities that just jump into private conversations?
It's a library and we're all fucking scholars.
Yes. And to be fair, Farewell, he has a point. Because of our extreme power level, it is quite natural for the maelstrom energy that naturally congresses around us to sometimes lash out. It's why wild mages are usually quite powerful, because it's their connection to the maelstrom that causes those incidents to happen.
Exactly.
Or we're cursed.
Arcana Genesis 101. There we are.
Oh, we're cursed. I like the cursed part. I think
we're cursed.
I read about
You may
a
be
curse that was called Storm Hermit. It had something to do with like when you had a thing, it would like cause random magic surges to happen.
You mean that sort
Scholar
of
goes,
twin...
I thought that was STD.
I thought it was a twin sort of trickster. Like there were a couple of jinn that just like floats around the plains causing problems with people.
I don't know.
I think I've read about that. Though
Must
I
be
suppose
careful with
different
jinn.
cultures
Terrible
have
things. Terrible.
Yeah,
different
I mean,
versions.
nothing good comes from ever dealing with, like, again, rules. Don't deal with dragons. Don't deal with jinn. Top 2 rules.
Yes.
And there's no such thing as a milk cow. Yes. Right. So.
Anyways, I
sorry,
do believe we found
it's
what
just
we
that
needed.
you postulated, and it's kind of an interest of mine. I do apologize. And the guy gets up, shuffles his papers, and walks off.
I'm gonna start fucking charging people. I swear to God. Every single time. There's always one.
You say every single time. You live in a fucking tavern. When they overhear a conversation, they're like, "Yeah, mate, yeah."
But Farewell's used
There are
to
no
the
such
caravan
thing as
where
private
people left him
conversations.
alone because he was weird. he was the
I'll-
weird kid that would have to talk to corpses and bury them. People left him alone. Now he's not. He's surrounded by people who are more
To
weird.
offer their opinions, yeah.
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 And he's just like, I don't understand. Go away.
Go away.
Well, it's getting quite late. We could take a sleep before we deal with my family in the morning. Unless there's any other subject you would like to look up while we're here.
I mean, I always want to
but
look
I've
up
already
like
been-
weird fish, but I don't think that's what we're here for.
I've already got the information I needed from some other research to try making some new spells. So I'm probably going to just sleep and let the other farewells sleep as well, because it's really weird being asleep and having part of your brain awake.
Yeah, that can't be good for your rest.
You know, according to the book, it's not that bad. It's just as long as I keep the number of farewells below a certain number, and then it's fine. I think it said anything over 4 and you're really pushing your luck, so I run about 3.
Suppose.
I mean, how do you think I write all the spells when I'm sleeping? I mean...
Well, the townhouse should be free for us to use. I never explained it last time, but we do have an enchantment on it so that when a Tezcatlipoca enters, we can choose to be in the same plane as others or in our own version of that manner. So it evens out, since you guys wondered why you didn't see any more of my relatives when we were here last.
No,
Yeah.
avoiding, and I mean this in the kindest way that I can possibly say it.
Okay.
The least amount that we see your family, the best.
Yeah, we can't spoil the surprise more than we already have.
Rodrigo is just restarting their camera, but we'll keep going.
Yep.
So I'm going to cross over to a completely different plane of existence. And the end of session before last, as Cora nestled down her head in Enola's lap, and did I say is it Enola?
Yes.
I've been watching
Yeah.
Enola Holmes, and I'm just like, is that correct?
Yeah, suddenly it was a moment of like,
Yeah. So
I've been watching Enola Holmes. I love
Yeah.
you, dude.
yeah, I was watching it to see if my daughter would like it. Yeah, and you don't disappear. Cora, you are just lying there. Normally, you can slip away really easy as your body just slips back into the physical world.
sorry. Has everyone else lost Felicia and Nick, or is it just me?
So Nick has got Nick's got a.
They've deliberately done it,
yeah,
right? Because I
they've deliberately
clicked a
done it, yeah.
button and then they disappeared for me.
No, they deliberately did this.
That's
So-
fine. That's fine.
So Cora, you haven't woken up. You're
yeah.
still lying there with your head in Enola's lap.
Yeah. Also, chat, tell me if you're hearing me doubled or if it's just me.
By the way, I didn't steal a picture. Can't see.
Has he been a picture this whole time? Oh, I'm so sorry, Rodrigo. There we go.
All good.
Yeah.
Hello,
I don't think I've got a
backpack
picture for the other two, so not. Oh no, I have one for Farewell, but not for Felicia. Anyway, we'll leave them as black screens.
Anyway.
Sorry. Yes. No, I can't go back to the thing.
Enola.
Yes. Well, this
Enola
is odd.
Teases her fingers through your hair and says, "Still sleepy?"
I don't know. I feel like I should be able to go back, but I can't.
Eowyn flits down out of basically a sunbeam. She goes, Why didn't you come?
I don't know.
Let's try it again. And this time she's watching you as you close your eyes. You hear this kind of ping as Eowyn disappears. You're still there. A few seconds later. Cora?
I'm trying.
What's going on?
Nothing is different. I'm not doing anything different.
At which point Enola goes, "Oh.
Oh?
We need to go speak to Father."
Okay. Let's do that.
Everything is fine.
She gets up and starts striding across the field away from the lake with some purpose.
I get up and follow.
And you and Eowyn follow. You get to a beautiful red brick road. This is marked as, it's not like herringbone pattern, but it's kind of a cool patterned road. You know that this is the central road that goes straight to the palace and the royal city. You get to that part, start walking along it, and some time passes. It's difficult to tell in the Feywild. The road, for the most part, is to allow people to not get lost on the way to the Imperial City. Royal City. And you get to a bridge. Beautiful, kind of deep mahogany, sun-burnished. And walking towards you is the Summer King himself. He hasn't got his golden raiment on. He hasn't even got a crown on right now. He's walking along with a beautiful pair of tall boots, what seems to be like tight jodhpur trousers, a loose shirt with some kind of lacing on the frills, but kind of open at the neck going down to the chest. Of course, he's a Fey. He's ripped as fuck, and you can see that his hair cascades down. He's got quite long hair down to like his shoulder blades, and this beautiful bright auburn hair. And you can see the one thing about him that seems to not deviate completely from everything else is these very bright orange eyes, kind of almost like a slight touch of brown in them, but mostly this kind of flame orange eyes. And he's walking in your direction. You haven't got to him yet. And he just seems to be ambling back and forth across the road, just enjoying his realm. He is as powerful regardless of what form he takes. And he goes up to a tree and reaches inside, plucks off a peach, takes a moment just looking at it, smiles to himself, bites into it, and you do notice some of the peach juice just drip down his chin. He takes a look around, and you can see his chest rise and fall with a sigh, as he's just taking in his world. Enola runs forward. "Father!" "Ah, daughter, here you are." "Oh." He looks off into the middle distance. "You're here late, Cora." Dawn struck around your friends.
Yes. And I can't seem to go back.
Ah, I see. I see. He takes a couple more bites of the peach, which feel like forever, as he looks at you with a pensive look and says, your power's growing.
It feels like it's getting worse if I can't go back.
Not necessarily worse, just different. Walk with me. You can see that he seems to have burnt out his usual passion, and at this point he's just warm, genuine. He says, you've been growing in power, which means that you've been drawing more energies from my realm. You do realize that there's going to be a certain point where you're going to hit a limit. And the only way to draw more energy is to become more like me. I believe this is the case.
What do you mean more like you, though?
He gestures around. You broke the barrier between planes of existence. There's a reason why mortals that travel to other planes are subject to adverse effects, many who come from here, Feywild, back into the material plane. They can be shunted through time or completely forget the experience altogether. You don't. You've never forgotten your experiences here. And right from the start, you were able to pull other people into your into the Feywild to connect them with the fantastical. That was just a small example of what it is to be connected to me. But when you pushed into other planes of existence, when you saw across the barriers without your mind breaking, it's because you looked through your purpose. That's what us Fae can do. We are sewn into part of reality. It's what takes away a certain amount of our agency. We are one of the great puzzle pieces that make the realms work. We are emotion and hope and fear and concept. That's what we are, and we're available everywhere that you'll find. There are people who draw on me and feed my realm in turn. In Hell, the Primal Wilds, Shadowfell, the Underdark, you name it. Even the Celestial realms, although they tend to be a little more annoyed if I try to pop in. You're close to needing to make a decision, Cora. What is Cora's story going to be? Are you going to allow yourself to be tethered to the mortal plane, become weaker, allow yourself to just be a warlock? Or are you going to embrace your connection with me, with my daughter? But that in itself will start to change your nature. You need to start considering what it would be like to lose certain things. To have certain options taken away from you. And also start contemplating what you would do with eternity.
Eternity is a really long time.
Only a potential eternity. You could be mercilessly slaughtered, of course.
It's always a silver lining, huh?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
But the idea of Korra could live on, which means even in your defeated state, some part of you would still exist here. What is Korra's story? What is she responsible for? Up until now, you were just a girl on the road. She had a story, some ups, some downs, what everybody else would call life. Now you have taken on great responsibility, done things that others will never do and can never do, plumbed the mysteries of your plane and some others. And now you're drawing from a being of great power, and not a trickle, but a roar. Consequences, Korra. On the one side, of course, you have an eternal love with, if I do say so myself, one of the most lovely fae ever to have existed. That's got to count for something, surely.
Oh, it does. She's the whole reason I'm here. The
downside is that you'll have to tolerate me for eternity.
Yeah, there's always ups and downs, so, you know, it happens. You're not so bad.
You've seen me on my better days. When my power wanes, I can be quite the grump, I believe, is what my daughter said.
I do happen to remember a certain time when a bunch of robotic kind of creatures turned up or something, and
that was me having fun.
Oh. Well, you know, we can have fun. It's fine. You know, ups and downs. You can't have it all.
You're going to become less real, Korra.
How quickly? If I can't get back now, do I need to start saying goodbye? Because I'd kind of like to stay a little longer, and...
A little longer can be done. This is just a... Oh, what's that beautiful word the artificers say? Glitch.
Right.
It's a moment of shock as your body starts to assimilate start of the change. In answer to your question, it goes faster the more power you draw, the more you bring the fantastical into Mundus. And I have a feeling that if you're going to defeat the foe and tell the story of Korra the Night, you're going to need to draw on enough power that one day will see you firmly by my side. And yes, one day there'll be a goodbye.
Well, I can't do one without the other, then can I really? We need to...
There is a choice. There's always a choice. You can obtain great power on Mundus, but right now you get it from me. It's how much you are willing to break the rules. The more you break the rules there, the more the rules here apply.
The more you go off book.
I've never been great at sticking to the rules.
Me neither.
Exactly. Well, I've also never been one for setting my own path. Not really. I just see where it goes.
What, you mean that you just go with your knee-jerk reaction in the heat of the moment? I have no idea what you're on about.
Again, it's kind of how I ended up here in the first place.
It's why you were suitable to be here.
I guess it's not just about my story, though. It's all my friends. We have things we need to do, and I don't want to abandon them. If I don't have to.
One thing I can guarantee is that the story will make sure that you don't abandon them. Apart from the aforementioned terrible, horrible death. But you will get either dead or to the end of your story before this world claims you. In fact, I should imagine it will be the end of your story on Mundus that finally brings you here.
And that's the start of a whole other story, isn't it?
Oh, there's always a start of the next story.
Exactly.
But think of the advantages. Mortal Korra is a known quantity. If you become a rebel like me, you'll always keep them guessing.
And that's always fun.
They think they know you. They think they know how to defeat you. They think they know what makes you tick. The more you break those rules, the less they've got on you.
Well,
that in itself could save your friend's life.
True. I mean, I couldn't do everything that I've been doing without your help. So.
Agree to disagree. I think you had it in you to be able to conquer no matter what. I think you came towards me just because it was in you to do so.
Maybe. Maybe I would just find a different way to do the same thing, but...
So you're saying your story would be pre-written? What a terrible thought.
Oh no. I just mean... I think you're right, that I still would be pushing to help, even if I couldn't do it the same way. I would find a different way to help. You know, this magic is amazing. Bursting into fire and using that rage to help those I love is amazing. But I could have used a knife in the same way and used my own small rage to do that, I guess.
As I say, I don't doubt how capable you are. But this is a test. You realize you come to me and I can guide you as a mentor. But it's you who needs to put Korra back in Mundus.
Right. But how do I do that? Because it's always worked before.
That's the question, isn't it? How does Korra appear in Mundus? How do any of us?
Summon my Sunhawk. If I can.
Yeah. Burst of light and this beautiful, majestic creature appears in front of you.
Well, maybe just falling asleep and waking up again is a little too boring. Maybe there's a different way to go back.
I can guarantee there's thousands of ways of going back.
And I'll jump on the Sunhawk and say, God, how quick are you at knitting? Jesus Christ. And I'll be like, okay, this works, I'll see you later. If not, I'll come back and we'll figure out the next possible try. And I'll take off on the Sunhawk and just aim. Is there a sun here?
Yes. There is a sun overhead at all times. The sun never sets on the Sun Isles.
So I'm gonna head towards the sun, but not like
Oh God, she's gonna Icarus it.
Yeah.
No, I plan to like head in towards the sun as if we're going towards the sun, and it's already a Sunhawk. And so what what Cora is picturing happening, you can tell me what actually happens, is flying really fast towards the sun, so like really high, and just like the Sunhawk and Cora just kind of bursting into flame, like kind of, you know, like coming into the atmosphere kind of thing.
Yeah.
She does that with a kind of expecting a kind of mini explosion thing.
God, she spun out.
And to do the same in Mundus, to come out of the sun on the Sunhawk. Is what she's thinking.
Go up towards the sun. The Sunhawk, soaking up all those solar rays, starts to shine to the point where if you weren't its master, you would be blinded right now by just the sheer energy coming off the plumage.
Yeah.
And you focus on it and focus on it. There's a part of you that goes, hang on, the sun is always there. That means it has no distance, so I'm only metaphorically going into the sun.
I mean, again, she's never going into the sun, and the sun's so it's very much just like, so that it looks to them like she's almost going into and out of the sun, but she's not.
Sure enough, in the Feywild, you go, and you're gone.
Nice. Does she appear in Duskcold or in Adol Saran?
Yes. Not quite sure where you are, but a voice in the back of your head says, how does Cora have a presence in Mundus?
I mean, she's planning to like fly down on that Sunhawk, burning.
She comes through the door and just starts falling because the Sunhawk can't operate in our
Honestly,
reality.
what I was picturing.
So I mean, she's probably So I mean,
that's how you're going to enter, Cora. I'm asking, how are you already there?
I was thinking
because
that she's
of
basically
the
no clipping through the fucking planes. She turned no clip on. She's going through walls.
Yeah, I mean, basically. So.
Behold, I am Cora.
I'm Cora.
The planes mean nothing to me now. Bow before your gnomish, your halfling god.
She's sort of like this, like almost like not quite ghost-like, but it's sort of like ghost / there's a sun, like a heat haze on her.
You're a mirage.
Yeah, a little bit. At least at the start. I think she forms into more, normal. But when she comes in, I mean, when you say she's already there, because her body disappears though usually from the material plane, right?
Yeah, and at the moment your body's not in any plane.
Exactly. So, so she kind of like fireball / heat hazes out of the sun's, but not quite.
In Adol Saran?
So,
I
don't think it's a good idea to like appear in a dragon zone. I think she'd go back to where did we leave where did we leave everything? I know, but before that,
in the Duskcold. Before that, we were in Ostergold.
Before that, we were in Ostergold in the caravan, weren't we?
Yeah, so
no,
I think
we
she'd
don't
go
have
back
the
there.
Caravan yet.
But you don't know that we're in that surround. You might just be focusing on like, I'm next to Farewell, and then you appear next to Farewell in that surround, and we're like, oh.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, she might.
Nah. Go with your gut, Kate.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what my gut is saying. I'm trying to remember like the last time she remembers where she was. I don't think she'd try and go to the
voice appears again in your mind as you're considering all of this and says, there are rules, Cora. We do break them, but there are rules. and it's easier to follow them when you have to. It makes breaking them all the sweeter when you have to.
It would be really good to have a rule book.
You can't go where you want. You have to go where you are. Where are you, Cora?
Ah.
There you go. Felicia's got it.
Really? Because I don't. I'm dumb.
Well, tell her though, Felicia, if you
No, don't tell her.
Oh.
This isn't my trial.
I think you are.
Wow, she's about 2,000 feet off the floor. I really hope she's got a chute.
I think interestingly,
I hope she doesn't run out of oxygen.
She has no body at the moment, so oxygen's useless to her.
Fair.
She's currently a concept.
Is the concept becoming a pancake upon hitting the ground?
Pancake is a concept. It's the best of concepts.
This is getting a little. This is getting very much. I have no mouth that I must scream.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think actually, okay. I think her thought is probably to the caravan because that's where the gang is. As far as she's, I know. And she steps out of the fireplace. I think the fire goes when she jumps out of the fire.
You focus on the fireplace. There's a little bit of Cora there. You've been there. It's part of your history. You feel like if you really pushed, you could do it.
Okay.
But you don't feel as strong there as you do other places. And the Summer King, unrelenting, he's not going to just give this to you. He says, yes, you're here, but you're more elsewhere, aren't you? Where are you, Cora?
Man, I don't. This is hard.
Where's Eowyn?
Eowyn's wherever she's
here.
Cora goes.
She's here and knowing better than to say anything.
I mean, I think she would be somewhere near Freetown or in Freetown.
Your mind goes to Freetown. You can spot you see the streets in your mind's eye. The Summer King goes, yes, you're more here, aren't you? Both you and the you were before. But is that where the you are now is? I mean, it could be.
The me I am now is divided across planes. I can't.
You're thinking two now.
Welcome to my life. You just hear Farewell's voice in the back of your head.
Not helping.
Not so fucking funny now, is it? Asshole.
He gave me a scene that I couldn't roll roll a d20.
Yeah, outrageous. I mean,
what is the story of Cora? And you feel the Summer King fade away.
I mean, I think she probably would then focus on Farewell, even though he's just potentially said that in her head. And because that's always been the constant link between old Cora and now. So she'll focus on where he is.
Okay.
And she'll try and burn him as she comes in.
So we're going to go back to everybody else. You're heading towards the Dusk Hold. to a prearranged spot, and
Are we in dawn now?
well, no, you said it was dusk.
Well, we came out at dusk.
Oh, you came out at dusk, so yeah. In that case, yes.
Yeah, we did say we were
went for a
gonna
nap.
sleep at the
Yes, so that's right. You'll go.
townhouse.
Yeah, you go to the townhouse. So I'm going to say you've been sleeping at the townhouse, and the townhouse, of course, has got fireplaces. Yeah.
Yes.
You
Ample
definitely
protection.
can feel yourself very strongly here, Cora. Probably because they're wondering where the fuck you've got to. And yeah, I would say that that's probably in Farewell's subconscious. The story of Cora is quite strong here. And you did mention coming out of a fireplace in the caravan. As you start feeling that you're here, one of the potential entrances is, of course, the fireplace.
Yeah, doing it.
Okay. Farewell, you're sleeping the sleep of the innocent, or as close as you can get to it. And then there's an explosion in your room, and a large burning hawk ridden by your friend goes into shoots into the room. Thankfully, it's quite a large room because it's a Tazkotl room. But even then, with the full extensive wingspan of a sunhawk charging in through with the flames trailing behind, embers, the fireplace had burnt down to embers, but the embers have just erupted in one final gout of flame, and riding the end of that gout of flame is Cora on a warhawk, a sunhawk.
What is wrong with you?
Oh, it worked! Amazing.
Do we hear?
This is the equivalent of someone waking you up with a fucking air horn to your ear. So he did the whole.
No. This is the equivalent of like, hey, you know how what's a great prank to do? Let's wake him up by tossing a Molotov cocktail into his room.
Pretty much, yeah.
The problem is, like, Cora will look around, and then there's like hundreds of like shadows coming out as he's just cast something, and they go, no, back, it's okay, no, not
With
this
a
one,
broom,
not this one,
with
no,
a broom, go
down,
back, go
down,
back.
all of you, down,
Felicia,
down.
are the rooms soundproof?
Of course
They
they
sound
are.
Of course they are. Have you met the
Okay, cool.
Tazkotls?
Yes.
We have
I assumed they
No
were,
one
but I
wants
was-
to hear what's going on in Glory's room.
Well,
They are
I
fucking
was-
and or torturing.
I mean, I assumed so, but I
That's
made
why I
sure
said
to
and or.
ask. I continue sleeping peaceably at Glory's feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Well, thought I was stuck over there. Turns out I'm not. I just needed to find a different exit. Found one. Hi.
And you decided to choose the room that I was in, the fireplace that I was in, whilst I was sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're an asshole.
Yep. You're an asshole too. That's why I came back. Nice to see you too.
Yeah, I missed you too.
Yeah.
Farewell, give me a perception check.
Okie dokie. I will have to ask though, what was the delay? You know, you usually just yeah.
Yes, I do. Apparently I'm kind of getting too powerful to just do that anymore. I'm getting drawn in there more.
24, Simon.
Yeah, you noticed that Cora's reflection in the mirror took a little while to catch up, to the point where it runs in from left stage and assumes the position and then starts mimicking her.
Jesus fuck the ping.
Yeah, she's running on about 1,000 MS at the moment.
Yeah. Implement rollback on Illyria, please.
You know, this would be a wonderful moment for me to go, what did you do? But I'm a bigger person than that. And I wouldn't sit there and do that to a friend of mine.
Really?
Of course I would, but I'm not.
Yeah, you
because
just...
glass houses.
Yes.
And all of that, you know.
Mhm.
You're okay.
Yes. I just have to make some choices soon, I think.
Are we talking the sticking around choices, or are we talking the which kind of outfit I'm going to be wearing choices?
I guess it's both in a weird way, but
Oh God, that's terrible.
well, I mean, they have a kind of dress code-ish over there. I mean, you've seen.
Yeah, but it looks good on you. It's very. You cut a fine figure.
Thanks.
Oh.
It's weird. It's things are different over there.
Well, yes, it is a different plane of existence. I mean,
Yes.
that's to be expected, I guess.
I know. It's just hard to let go of one when you're used to it so much.
Yeah, but
It was nice having both, and I don't really want to lose this one.
you don't necessarily have to lose both.
No, I have to lose one.
Oh, come on.
You find a way around it.
Sounds like it
I mean-
at some point.
Look at me. I went from being told that I can't do something to now being told, you know what? We trust you to use your discretion when you use it. Why can't you go,
Yeah.
you know what? I have a duty in both places, and I serve the court better if I'm in both. To quote Glory, if you're not bending the rules, are you really playing the game?
To be fair, that is a Glory quote.
That is an absolute, honest to God, Glory quote.
I
And
did
if-
say it earlier.
Stop giving her more power.
Stop validating it.
And you know what? If she
Glory gets ready to throw a card back in your face.
if she could, yeah, well, no, it just means she gets one free one.
Free one, free card.
Because like, you know, that was an actual relatable moment. She gets a free one. But you know, she or Aiden or Eclipse, for example. Eclipse just does what her heart desires, and apart from a few times where she almost died behind a crate, it's worked out pretty well for her.
It's one time.
It's true.
It's enough to make it comfortable.
You only have to fail once. Yeah.
I like the idea that Eclipse literally just gets up to argue that.
It's one time.
Or we just hear down the corridor, one time!
Yeah. Curled up on Glory's feet, she twitches and then goes, one time. One time.
And Aiden, I mean, he took his order and turned them from a insulated group to one of the most effective fighting forces that evil has feared. And he could have just quite easily have just done what they'd asked or walked away and done it. No, he did it his way. Eclipse does it her way. I'm learning to do it mine. I think Glory's doing hers, but she plays her cards too close to the chest, and I'm...
She has the
It's
cards
hard to
tattooed
tell
her
what
chest.
she's doing.
Exactly. But you're not kind of one to just give up and go, I must surrender something that brings me such joy.
I know. That's kind of what I said. I don't want to.
Then don't. Why not be both? Why not be Cora, Eladrin of the Summer Court, champion of the Prime Material Plane,
Breaker of rules.
crusher of undead witch queens, exploder of multiple
Libraries.
rooms, burner of
Dogs.
libraries.
Smasher of ceilings. I haven't used that tower in a long time.
Yeah, I know, and it's probably for best. I mean,
Oh,
considering
it's right here.
it's not my house. I don't care. And you know, there's an oubliette
No
with your name on it.
pastries.
Oh, wait, where are we?
Oh, we're in Atosram.
Oh, I'm putting this away. No, it's okay. I'll do this another
I
time.
thought you might say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh.
I mean, you'll be happy to know Eclipse managed to stay on her best behavior.
What? Okay, did you tie her up?
No.
Gag her?
No, no.
Really?
No.
She's just being normal Eclipse.
No, not even being normal Eclipse. It was
Okay,
really
you
weird.
did do something then. Okay, fine.
No. I think this whole like pendant thing is just so super distracting.
Oh,
It just over
lasers. Got you.
Yeah, you know, she had it was just like
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Damn it, Hermit.
you read a lot of books. You figured out everything. We off to
I mean, they read a lot of books. I did a lot of listening and
nodding.
Look, and I click my fingers and like a load of farewells pit about. But this time, rather than
Okay.
being really pixely, they're slightly more detailed. Like they have faces.
They have a few more polygons.
Yeah, they've got a few more polygons. They've actually got like you can see a nose and ears, a mouth, and eyes.
They're slightly less creepy. Just slightly.
So we have
I know,
moved
right?
from MGS1, PlayStation 1's like faces to PS2.
Yeah, we've
Faces.
sort of hit the PS2 era.
We're getting close to Morrowind. Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting up to that sort of Morrowind-esque.
Needs more fog. No, needs more fog.
Yeah, exactly. It's just tons of volumetric fog, so that we don't have. That's just.
So maybe it doesn't need to render as well.
Yeah, exactly. What happens is, as you step closer, like it just pops in, so it's still super creepy. Because rather than just like slowly emerge, it just appears. It's there.
Ugh. Yeah, I you know, sometimes I used to think, oh, it'd be nice to have more farewells around. I'm not sure I think the same way that I used to.
But they're so useful.
Useful is yes, useful is good. Maybe once they have facial features.
Eyes that can move.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. That might be
figured that out
creepier
yet.
actually. Eyes that can move would just follow you around the room.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether or not I want to work on the fact that they're movable features until I can figure out how to talk through them. Because I don't know about you. The
Would
idea
all
of
they
just,
say
like,
is I died the other day?
look, if you keep that up, I will order them to follow you around and just say that all the time.
Okay. I mean, I could practice some Eldritch Blasts. I haven't done any for a while. Very impressive. Farewell. It's very impressive. Can they get tea?
Yes. Would you want some?
No. But I would love a hot chocolate.
Okay. And like one of them shuffles off.
Yep.
Amazing.
Opens the door, heads out.
Huh.
I mean, you can ask one of the slaves, servants, to get you tea.
One of the servants just appears and starts talking to him.
Whoa!
And just the head just goes.
Oh! I forgot we were
turns
here.
back and just keeps walking.
Yeah. The servants aren't going to go anywhere near these strange creatures. Yeah. They'll do what they do best, and that is not rock the boats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay out of sight, out of mind. Only show up when called for.
So, a few minutes later, Polygon Farewell comes back with a hot chocolate. In the meantime, the Sunhawk does go up and lovingly nudge Farewell, even though the newly emerged Sunhawk is still the plumage is still kind of on fire with this kind of sunlight fire. Because it likes you, it's not burning you.
They do don't.
Is it always going to be that big and or with us, or can you?
I try and look at it and sort of like kind of get it into the size of a very small little sparrow on my hand.
You focus and almost like plucking it out of perspective.
Or like almost like a parakeet size. On the shoulder.
Yeah, a smaller size. What you do is you kind of look at it, and you know the whole kind of thing where you go like that, and you see a cow in a field, and you go like that, and suddenly it's very small. If you did the whole kind of thing of just then pulling your hand away and you're holding like a toy cow, you do that with the sunhawk. You just kind of look at it, and then just snatch it out of perspective, which is really freaky for Farewell because you see that, and then suddenly the sunhawk disappears and appears in her hand about the size of a blackbird.
Yeah, stick it on the shoulder.
And in the back of Cora's mind, the Summer King goes, "Careful, Cora."
Hey, I'm breaking the rules. I'm doing what you told me.
But if you're breaking the rules because someone told you to do so, are you actually breaking?
Shut up!
Yeah, you just hear that from down the corridor from Ivan's like direction.
I'm just going to throw a meta grenade into that room. Boom. Can I ever break the rules again? Because if I'm breaking the rules, I'm following
so
the
I have
rules.
to follow the rules,
I can never
but then I
break them
can't.
again.
Wait, god damn
What
it!
machine do I rage again?
That was perfect, Rodrigo. That was perfect.
You know, I did. Do I have to remind you about the no pets rule?
Are you jealous because you don't have a pet?
Well,
Eowyn
no,
goes,
because
"Hey,
we
no
never
fair.
liked-
You're allowed Eclipse."
Because last time you
She's a person.
last time that you wanted a pet, you started a war. So I understand that pets are an issue for you, and maybe we should have another drink. And you should
start
you know,
wanting to
here,
play
have a
the
pet. And I
war.
pull out and I throw a D8.
This is your pet today. Deal with it.
Yeah, let's
Have a giant go.
let's see.
You start
Boom.
wanting to play the
Whoa.
war, and you can
It's literally that
never
meme of "Whoa, plague be upon you," and she throws him a hamster or something like that.
No, not my luck. It's going to be like a dire wolf.
It's
Lion.
gonna be
It's Boo.
Or a bear.
rust bag. It's a rat. You get a rat.
Yay!
There you go.
It's
Have a
literally
pet.
this image.
Is Tuck
Oh.
still alive, by the way? Or is he
Yes,
dead?
because I'm the only one that fucking feeds it.
What are you talking about? Eowyn feeds him all the time.
Yeah.
I look after Tuck. This has been established in canon.
Yes.
The only reason I have diamonds in Revivify is to care for that fucking hamster.
It's a mouse.
The rest of
The mouse gets resurrected for like the 50th time. Just let me die.
I want to starve to death again.
Kill me.
Wow.
I mean, metaphysical questions about the natures of oneself and what one becomes. Apparently, you know, when I die, I get a job up there with wings and everything. You know?
Huh.
You become an angel.
Yeah.
I'm not there. I don't know why I'm asking this.
We've said any comments you make is just what
Just-
Eclipse is saying
the
in her
problem
safe space.
is,
Become an
like,
angel.
we've got this
Do you
weird-
become an angel?
there's this weird like codependency between the group where quite literally there is a pre-existing cognitive hive mind. There are things like, will you become an angel? We all hear.
Yeah.
just can't help it, and it's just, you know. So I've got that to look forward to.
That's a thing.
Yeah. I don't know if that's upward mobility or not, or just, you know, a really, really shitty way to spend one's afterlife. Working
Right.
constantly for all time.
It's your choice, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I can go live in the Feywilds forever. And forever is a
You can
long
go
time.
skiving. You can come hide out in like the Raven Queen's plane of existence.
Could
and
I
when I need to hide from any responsibilities,
Just
I
come-
can come over to the summer court and
We'll holiday in different places. I like. Yeah.
So will winter in the Summer Court and summer in the Raven Queen?
Yeah, well, let's not talk about the Winter Court because I feel like she's still
yeah,
watching
sure,
over
yeah.
and I can do the thing.
Yeah,
I am sure that
you've not had any sort of like cold, angry urges, right?
Well,
We're all the
I
glory and glory. We're all the joys of summer, right?
I mean, sometimes I use a spell that sort of is a little chilly, and I think that's not from him. Should I just not use that spell? Because it's a good one.
As you focus on this, the mirror seems to cloud slightly, and Cora only. You see through the mirror, and you can see your mother sat at a sewing machine.
Oh yeah.
And as quickly as it appears, it disappears.
Cool.
Another.
I mean.
Are you alright?
Crisis for today.
Yeah. See,
You're a terrible liar. For somebody who is as charismatic as you are terrible at lying.
I probably have an issue I have to deal with at some point. But I mean, like, I'm very good at putting those off.
No, I'm only going to ask this once because I know if I don't, there's a good chance that Aiden will probably tell us both off. Is this something that we need to address or something that involves us making an emotionally mature decision and thus we are putting off? Because
it's definitely something I'm putting off.
Yeah, but should we?
Probably not.
Okay, so do we need to go back and deal with it?
No. Hearts of Duradance are important.
Hearts of Duradance. Several of them.
I mean, I'm going to be a little bit worried if we get there and it turns out that he's got 3 of those fucking things and he's about 25 feet tall, about 19 feet wide.
He's a
and
fucking space marine.
You know, he's just like full-on kaiju death battle.
Well, to be honest, that one I saw that I thought might be him for a moment, and I asked Eclipse and it wasn't. Rage, he is a badass. Also kind of slightly sexy. But that's a whole other thing.
Hey, that's a whole thing.
That's a whole thing. Yeah, and I'm into girls.
Yeah. I mean, you can appreciate.
I mean, all black, but with a mane and streaks of like. You'll see. I'm sure we'll get to meet him at some point. I don't want to fight him.
Eclipse secret dark boyfriend.
I find them too like intimidating. It's a little.
He is intimidating, but like in a hot kind of way. Intimidating.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm, you know, squidgy.
Yes.
And...
You are a squidgy. He is definitely going to smash you if you're not careful.
Title of your sex tape.
Title of your sex tape. You know, there are times when I really wish that the fact that I didn't know the rest of you this well, because I could have sworn I just heard title of your sex tape in Eclipse's voice in my head. Sworn.
Right. Yeah. Well. So yeah. Anyways, maybe you know.
I mean, this got a lot more horny than I expected it to.
Sorry. I don't know why did I even, I was avoiding the question, that's why.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But it's all right for you. You can fall asleep and fuck off and deal with that. Some of us
could.
Had a room. Now we have a barbecue.
Barbecues are good. You know?
Not when you're trying to sleep in them.
Have you had enough sleep? I try and find out what the time is.
No.
It's about 4 a.m.
Hi,
we're due to meet Aiden soon. I think Aiden wants to meet us.
You could, I
believe Aiden's return to Atoll Sarong can wait until we've had our 10-minute break.
I was waiting for this conversation to get to a natural end because there was no way on earth I was going to
stop it. A natural end is never going to happen. We're just going to riff. We're going to keep riffing.
Let's take a 10-minute break now, and we will carry on when we come back.
Yeah, I have imagined they'll just keep talking until the dawn.
See you later, everyone.
This is basically just D&D Seinfeld, honestly.
I mean, some of our episodes, man, I don't know how we get.
I don't know. Oh, no, yes, everyone but me, but hold on, I'll mute myself.
back. When we left off last, we had a rapidly transubstantiating Cora coming back into the land of the living, and more importantly, Farewell's bedroom, depriving him of at least 2 hours sleep.
It's what I do best.
I'm used to it now.
With her Sunhawk now reduced in size and on her shoulder. Nick?
You know, that probably would look better as a tattoo, right?
I smush it to my arm.
Yeah. You press it to your arm. There's a flash of light, and there's now a Sunhawk tattoo going down your arm.
That kind of glows.
I won't ask where you keep the unicorn one.
It's a very sensitive area. We don't talk about it.
It's absolutely the ass. It's definitely 100% the ass.
That is for you and
definitely
See, you'd think that this would be a classy thing, but the unicorn's winking, so it's trashy as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
Wait, it's a Pegasus. It's not even a unicorn.
By the way, Kate,
You've got an
someone in
echo.
chat is you have an echo.
I do. So I did. Okay.
It's slight reverb.
Nothing has changed. Have I always had the echo and nobody's told me before? Because it's been there the entire time. I'll deal with it.
I mean, it fits with what's been going on with your character, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's otherworldly. We can
I am Kate.
We would totally
Last
plan for this.
Sparrow of
This
the
was
Feywild.
completely calculated. Nothing improvised.
It does sound more like reverb than echo.
Yeah, certainly.
I need to figure out what it is. I'm hearing it. I'm just not sure why I should be hearing it. It shouldn't be happening.
Okay. So, the rest of the night goes on with mostly Farewell getting badgered by Cora, and the servants knock the door at the appropriate time, saying, "Master, mistress, whatever. It's 1 hour to sunrise." Knock.
Glory?
Sorry, forgot I was muted. Perfect. Let's get ready, Eclipse.
No. Farewell's becoming an angel.
I am sure he is. What type of brush would you like? I have 7 kinds.
The soft one.
The horsehair one, yeah? Okay.
Glory produces that really fine metal comb that you use on cats when they're molting, and that takes out huge chunks of all of the molting fur. It's just I chose violence this morning.
This one is not soft, but I think you'll like it. And I hand her a metal one, like the one Farewell just explained.
Yep.
Look.
You're going to end up with so much cat hair on the floor.
It's not my job to clean.
I eyed suspiciously. I'm like, is it cursed?
No,
honestly,
it's just a comb.
To be honest, with anything in the house that you're in right now, there is at the very least a 75% chance that whatever you're using is cursed.
Yes.
It's yes.
Here, let me use it on your back. You'll get
broom
it.
of endless grooming.
Mm-hmm.
If you use it on my back, Eclipse loves it, and what keeps badgering you to do it more. When you stop, she tells you to do it more.
I need to get ready too, Eclipse. You can continue with the rest of your body, or you can go and badge your Farewell into brushing you as well.
Okay. I go to find Farewell.
Sure, there's tabaxi bundles in through your door.
It's a giant, great big black scorch mark. The bed's burnt.
Boris back?
What gave it away?
I mean,
I imagine the Eclipse just ran through the house without a shirt on because she was being brushed on her back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tabaxi have no sense of proprietary. It's fine.
Oh,
Propriety,
no.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, Farewell, this is really cool. Groom me. Eclipse, put some clothes on. Groom me.
Groovy. Brush my back.
Just, yeah, great and powerful
Wing,
cleric.
I
of the-
apologize
of
for
the
you coming
Raven
in at
Queen.
what possibly is the thing that we have the most trouble explaining. But yes,
Yeah.
don't forget to groom your Tabaxi.
Yeah. Great and powerful cleric of the Raven Queen, a full-on chronomancer. But my job is to simply brush Eclipse's
Cat.
back.
Yes.
Brush the cat.
Brush the cat.
And the second that you stop, even for a second, it's more.
Well.
Fine, I will brush your back, but no claws in the legs.
Fine.
Don't know
Normally
why
it'd be no promises.
I don't even know why I made her agree that. She's not gonna do it. She's gonna do it. She'll do it.
Yeah, starts making biscuits on the bed and then in your leg.
Is this all you wanted this morning? Could this not have waited for a couple more hours?
No.
No,
Chloe showed me this brush.
did she? And and that meant that it was appropriate for you to come and see me, was it?
Well, because she did it for a while, and then she said she told me to go and tell you to do it.
Of course she did. Of course she did. Can I just get one of the other farewells to do this?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, good. And like Farewell just steps through her, leaving one of them behind. It's
This
like,
one is
oh,
Oblivion
that's
NPC
better.
farewell.
But
How many hit points has a Farewell clone got?
For it.
Okay.
if we're basing it on the unseen servant, it has feraled it out. So be careful. They pop. And I quite literally mean they pop. As in,
Okay.
it's audible.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will be careful.
I'm just looking and I'm pretty sure that
No,
her hands have like a D6.
No, it's 1d4 plus her dex, I think.
No, plus my strength, which is
Ah,
minus.
strength. In that case, it stands a chance of surviving the cookie, the making biscuits. Then, yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Sorry.
Cora's back. Aiden should be with us in an hour or so. What's the plan?
Go meet Excellence. Rub it in his face. Get yourself.
How are we going to get
Eowyn
his
also
help?
flips around saying, "Weren't we going to meet some like high-level blood hunters as well?"
Yeah, I had something about that written down.
Oh yeah, there was something about that.
Correction. I am going to meet migraines.
Migraines.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Well,
So,
once
which one are you
it's
guys
like
doing first?
close to Aiden showing up, Glory emerges, looking fabulous as always.
47 minutes. That's your quickest one yet.
I think I'm getting faster at it. It helps that the scales are easier to take care of than the skin.
I will take your word for it.
Mary's the best.
Yeah, you just need a good abrasive cloth with scales, whereas on with skincare versus scale care. Yeah.
I like the idea that eventually Glory is going to require one of those industrial sand, like filer, like cider.
She gets a full-on angle grinder out, and it's just like sparks just flying off
Yeah.
the side.
That's how she gets her pedicure now.
There's a full-on like
Dwarven artificer, yeah.
Dwarven like construction crew.
Literally has to put on like the welder's mask for protection.
But we're talking like high-vis jackets, bum cracks, the whole 9 yards. You know what I mean? We're talking like proper like that, and they're just like, Miss Glory, we're here for the pedicure.
Isn't that what you use for birds to like reduce their like claws, like parrots and stuff? Do you have like
an angle grinder?
Yeah, not an angle grinder, but you have like a small spinning tool.
There is a molding tool.
Yeah.
So you are all ready. And hello, Uncle. So you're all ready, and you step outside of the house, and sure enough, the gate appears.
Ding.
So are we going to go back and do? Are we going to go back and do Aiden and the leaders, or do you want to go on to do excellence altogether?
I want to say, considering we're on the last leg of the stream, I want to say let's do excellence first.
Okay. And we'll open with you with the leaders next time. Cool.
Well, that sounds like a great idea.
Aiden's coming along with excellence, though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So you can come across now.
Yeah.
So you're ready to go to Kotal in Atolsaran, the seat of Frania, the Great Black Dragon, aka grandfather to Glory.
Granddaddy.
And so no, not granddaddy, grandfather.
What's the difference?
Oh yeah.
Puppy.
You walk up to the teleportation folly in the current city. Actually, no, you don't even have to do that. There's a teleportation circle in the house.
Yeah.
You step into there, and you step into the beautiful, pristine, completely clean, beautiful architecture, majestic in every single way, of Kotal, the seat of power, and also the seat of the Tezcatlipoca mansion. But you're not going there. You're going to the palace
we're
itself.
going to court.
Yeah.
Are we like dressed up in our normal clothes?
Glory's sort of dressed up.
Yeah.
You guys are like, she would probably have told Cora when she had arrived that if you go in full regalia, it will give a good impression.
The rest, like me and Farrell, are just in our traveling clothes and looking like bumpkins.
To be fair, Farrell's armor is a Tulsaran made, so he fits in.
And I can don and doff my armor within like 6 seconds.
Yeah, she just but also he has tabards and vestments of the Raven Queen, which pretty much is acceptable in any court anywhere.
Yeah.
So
so
if you want to be dressed up, Eclipse, we can just say that you stole one of Glory's summer dresses from her closet.
Yes.
I mean, you got groomed, you may as well.
Or I can just, because oh no, wait, illusions probably won't work as well. So yes, I'll.
You, Aiden has the option of being in the commander's regalia as well. Which, in all fairness, hasn't got a huge amount of difference in what you normally wear. It's kind of like, I like to think of it as like Commander Vimes in his dress armor. Actually, no, there's a description of that, and it's ridiculous.
It's probably just like probably just an emblem.
Aiden puts the least effort. Just zero effort. He's just like showing up in his usual attire.
Yep. But when you're a commander, that itself, you wear your status, and as far as they're concerned, you're just being very, avant-garde. So you turn up at the court, and Glory has specifically taken you, I think I'm right in saying, Felicia, taken you away so that the people of the court can't see her approach.
Yes, we are going the back way in.
Yeah. Okay. There are several back ways in. It's that kind of place.
Yeah, the biggest entrance.
And you get in there, and a bunch of the Blackfight Guard are there, and they bow to you. Clearly, they've got the message that your appearance has changed.
Yeah.
And they let you in. You get approached by a host, a chamberlain, and he says, the glory. I presume that you wish to go directly to court?
Yes, I believe we will.
Very well. There are some already in attendance. Do you need to know who is there, or is there anybody in
That would be
particular?
nice. Who has shown up?
So far, with the great Frania, he is entertaining his ideal, his curiosity, his vengeance. He did invite his vigilance, who declined.
I suppose that's very like Uncle.
His Excellence turned up only very recently, and His Mercy has also turned up. We have yet to see his hope.
Okay. Well, I suppose all the important players are here. Let's make a grand entrance, friends.
Very well. I assume that you want the main entrance, where you can come out of one of the side corridors and go straight in.
Yes.
Very well. You quickly duck through a bunch of discrete corridors, and you come out just in front of the large double doors. And by large, I mean dragon plus wings large. The doors are closed, because opening those big things has its own sense of majesty.
Indeed.
The Chamberlain nods at the guards, and the doors open. You can see inside, everybody turns to look at you. Frania is in his humanoid form, and he stands next to Ideal. This kind of strange couple that they make up on the dais, almost like a royal couple, a king and queen. And as he looks down, you can see the mirth on his face from here as everyone starts turning. And as it is announced, the glory of Frania, this kind of profound announcement by the herald. You walk in, wings mantled, clawed feet, tail lashing, your body covered in these black iridescent scales. And a lot of people, apart from Insight, who has been clued in on this, who gives you a thin smile. She gives you a kind of encouraging smile, I guess it would be. There's brimming smile on Frania's face, and you can see by the look on Aunt Ideal that she was already aware of this. But the look on Excellence's face is the one that you want. Yeah. And he looks like he's chewing a wasp.
Either way, I'm gonna ask Gloria something, because this is something Eclipse would have asked before.
Mm-hmm.
The base level of detect thoughts that just detects people's surface thoughts. Do these people have any like special protections against that, or is that just considered fair game?
It's considered fair game. Mostly they are trained to control their surface thoughts.
Yeah.
So they're trained in the Orange Penguin, the art of the Orange Penguin.
Okay.
The one that you're all not thinking of right now.
Yes. But so Eclipse, because she wants to know what these guys are actually thinking to Gloria's thing. So she's gonna have detect thoughts on when we turn that on when we go in, and especially Excellence to see what his initial reaction, because there's gonna be initial reaction.
In this order, Insight goes, I wonder if she'll excel past me. Ideal, nothing.
Oh yeah.
Frania, nothing.
They have protection, whatever.
Curiosity goes, cool.
Okay, at least they live up to their name.
Yeah.
He does.
Let's see. Curiosity. Who else did we say was there? There's a couple of courtiers, mostly female. They are Tezcacotls. You have a feeling that this is kind of Tezcacotl and close friends, who turn round, and the TLDR of all the things that you hear are, fucking hell, the bar's raised that high now? I mean, come on, I was just gonna like marry a lord or something.
What's excellence?
Excellence turns around and goes, what the fuck? Why? Why has he favored her so? Has he favored her so? Or is this just part of her growing in power as a sort? So, Eclipse, get out of my head!
Hi!
As his detect magic goes off.
I imagine the cat just like leaning from behind Glory and just like wave at him.
Yeah, I lean out loud and make a heart with my hands.
This is the like mental equivalent of a cat learning to open the door to your room.
Yes.
Yeah. Or the cupboard where you keep the dreamies. But in this case, he was so focused on Glory, he didn't see that when one of his rings went off, and he was like, "What?" And then he saw you. He puts on a painted smile, as do a lot of other people. You do see that there are some people who are looking at you with a certain amount of foreboding, and I will give you that the detect thoughts on them, Eclipse, is she going to do that? And these are people who are married to Tezcacotls, going, oh shit, is this how my wife's going to end up? And these are mostly young people who haven't got into the game. Yeah, you can see that there's what seems to be a Cantum warrior, and a nation you're not entirely sure. I'll tell you out of character, is Tiranoshi. Who is looking, and you can see that there are some people who are quite clearly Scalran from other provinces who have married into the Tezcacotl, and there's a few of them and they're going, oh shit, they only just managed to absorb that they've got a polite black dragon, but now it turns out the tieflings can do this too, as this small feminine dragon born dragon, humanoid dragon, half dragon, what the fuck, walks in. And yes, the without even having to roll, you've achieved the entrance. And as everybody's kind of lost for words, because you're just coming in, people just watch you come in, and then the soiree continues, Excellence makes a beeline for you. Not quickly, but the usual just kind of the courtly walk. It has a rhythm to it, has a sway to it. I
want to use the entrance to do something quickly. I'm going to be the last to come in.
Yeah.
And as the massive fuck off doors close, Aiden is going to take advantage of the fact that everyone is looking at Glory, right? To subtly smear some blood on the door to make sure that no uninvited guests get in.
Sure. Just a tiny glyph that you just do.
Yeah, like behind
you bloody your hand, and you just do a quick glyph behind you. And you've warded the door.
Yeah, just to there's probably other security measures that I can do, but probably this is the most subtle one I can do. So
yeah. I mean, if anybody looks at it, they'll see some blood on the door. But anybody who sees blood on a door in Atel Zaran knows to not fucking ask any questions. Otherwise, they'd already be dead.
Like, see, there's positive things about this place too.
No, I'm not even going to entertain that idea. Fuck off.
But yeah, so Glory will very much sashay into the room.
And Excellence is coming straight at you with all the courtly virtues kind of brimming off him.
When he comes up, I start purring at him.
Loudly, yeah.
Loudly. I flick him with my tail.
I like the idea that you're not even purring, you're saying the word purr loudly.
Purr.
Purr. Not missing a beat, Excellence goes up to you and about 5 foot away, he puts his arms wide and says, "Cousin, you look radiant. Embrace me."
Why, thank you, cousin. It's so good to see you again. And she will do the customary embrace because they're at court. There are rules to be followed.
Yeah.
Oh, it must be so awkward.
And
I keep purring.
as he hugs you, and the whole court sees that he hugs you. You can tell, even without detect thoughts, as now he's there going, "Orange penguin, orange penguin, orange penguin, orange penguin." You know that he's doing this to show everybody that he's not afraid of this.
Oh, yeah.
How better than to go up and hug the monster that just walked in? And as he hugs you, you do notice he does something which would oddly, ordinarily, I guess, on a human would be inappropriate. But as he hugs you, there are spines down your spine now. There's small ridges. They're not like spikes yet, but they're pronounced ridges. And he does just run his fingers down your spine, not in a kind of seductive way or anything like that. More a whole kind of it's real kind of way.
Yeah, he's checking that it's not an illusion.
Yeah.
And yeah, that moment there, you know what it is. It's not anything inappropriate, although that depends on the eye of the beholder sometimes. Well, most times actually. But the way he's doing it, you suss out that he's just checking that this is like a permanent feature. And when he pulls away, you can see he is looking you in the eye, but as he pulls back, his eyes do deviate momentarily to check out your wing.
Mm-hmm.
Quite the boon.
It was indeed.
Oh,
And I
before...
must say, I do really enjoy my new appearance.
The biggest loss is shoes.
Very true. But that
Truly
can be
a loss for
amended.
us all.
You were wearing a very cute pair. When
Yeah.
it was a very tragic.
A very strange thing, Glory. I found myself summoned to what seems to be otherwise a very mundane court session.
Why? How odd. I suppose someone wanted you to be here for this.
I thought grandfather. And it turns out he has no new business.
The invitation was on my behalf. I so wanted to see your face along with everyone else. As you say, I am absolutely radiant now.
Be careful of radiance. Makes you more noticeable.
I know. That was the point of this little thing, wasn't it? But how have you been? You've been running around Infernus for a while now.
Yes, I've been promoting the family business in the other plane. And he does refer to the other plane as if there are no other planes of existence.
Mm-hmm.
You know he's not that ignorant. He's saying this is the only one that matters.
Yeah.
I have managed to get enough contacts that I think that we can secure certain deals for some of our less successful members and those who fall foul of the rules.
Oh, that's always a good thing, promoting the business.
Yes, in fact, I have a few opportunities that you might be interested in.
Oh, yes, I do believe you've been in contact with Barakimos so recently, haven't you?
For Eclipse's benefit, Orange Penguin, how the fuck does she know that name? I told you to get out of my head!
You can't tell me what to do, I'm a fucking cat! I say that out loud to him.
She's got a point.
I wouldn't know, I don't keep pets. Very well, you have me at a disadvantage. Yes. You've heard of my success. I have access to the upper echelons of the pit, or the lower echelons, depending on how you see it. I've helped out in the Blood War. I've managed to get them connected here in Mundus, all within the rules, you understand.
Of course. We all follow the rules. Why, I did meet a pit fiend a little bit a while back. He screamed delightfully.
He glares at you and then looks down at one of his rings and then glares at you as the ring doesn't say this is a falsehood.
It was the village of the Tommy Tentacles.
TM.
TM.
If any of you watchers want to know more about it, go and look up that episode. It's actually called it.
Oh, yes.
And I believe either Scum or...
Yeah.
No, it was Scum that did
It was Scum.
Who named it the village of the Tommy Tentacles.
Very well. You have me at a disadvantage, but I know quite a little about your business as well.
How about we discuss that a little later?
Yes. Grandfather, how wonderful. I think you've got your best and your brightest here. And out from one of the doors goes, not quite, but now, as Hope walks in.
I hiss at her.
Hope has a huge scar down her face.
Oh.
And two matching ones that aren't as deep.
Oh, that looks like not great.
A big fucking claw mark coming down her face.
I'm pretty sure I didn't do that.
No, you didn't. Hope, darling, it's so good to see you.
Cousin.
How are you?
I'm well. Following the duty. You can see she's anything but well.
Yeah.
Sorry, grandfather. I didn't mean to butt in. Freynia says, "No, Hope, it's fine. I was waiting for you all to arrive anyway."
Question, Simon. Would I know what creature would leave a scar like that, a claw mark like that?
There's a lot of creatures who have got
Does it
3 or more
specifically look like a
claws.
lichen
No.
claw mark?
No. Lichen
Okay.
claw mark would be closer together. Yeah.
All right.
She's not turning into a werewolf.
And yeah, I mean, this is a really savage wound. I mean, it looks magically healed, but it looks like magic healing wasn't enough to fully heal it. And she does look shocked, a little bit of PTSD going on. Whatever it was a nasty fight.
Yeah.
But Freynia says, "Thank you all for coming. Although I'm mostly jumping on an opportunity, I hear that some of you wanted to speak to each other. How wonderful! My family wants to stay in communication with each other. There is a great shift in power in the realm. Scaura, of course, still remains the most powerful country, the most educated country.
Citation needed.
Bullshit. Clips does not do that.
But we must play our part in the greater global politics. Vardencourt flounders about, imagining a past that was grander than they actually remember it. Meridia is happy playing house, and Keltlands just tries to find anything they can hit to be a hero. North Vardencourt have their own tale to tell. Some promise there, I feel. Our honourable friends in Cantum continue to get glory in their own way. Those in Sylvania and Garandal are too far removed from global politics to fully understand the ramifications of what I speak. Even in our own country, I have found that there has been disobedience Many people, too many people, at least double figures, have turned from the truth of Tiamat to this usurper, this tool of the gods. The cult was very swiftly extinguished by my fury.
Oh shit. We need to talk to your mom.
But the fact that this would happen in my country, indeed, has also happened elsewhere in Skara and has been worse. Some of my siblings and more distant cousins not being as vigilant and as guiding as I am, have also had this problem. I fear even that some of my kind, the younger, more ambitious, immature of my kind, have tried to claim access to this new authority. Needless to say that this is heresy to the Dragon Queen. Means to an end, yes, we have dealt with some of the other gods. For example, my grandchild, Excellence, tells me that Asmodeus, to whom he has a certain number of connections with, is furious that certain leaders that would normally be drawn to his patronage are now being drawn to these whispers in the night. These whispers of this being yet to return. I wish to have a concerted effort against this opportunity. What the outcome of this opportunity will be, I do not know. But I do know it will go in our favor because I shall accept nothing less. We have furnished ourselves with some of the greatest power of this plane and many others. I do not expect the education that I have given you all, the opportunities I have given you all, the patronage I have given you all to count for nothing in this. I prepare you not just for greatness in this realm, but to be prepared to exploit any new resource that comes into the greater game. My excellence and my glory have taken steps already. Even now, they marshal their forces. A good product of the lesser game, I would say. I am pleased with them both. And he makes a point of staring at you in turn when he says that. It is likely that when the opportunity arises, it will be outside of our sovereign soil. It will require our connections with the many nations of this plane to make sure that we are able to react. I wish for contracts to be written up. We shall call them non-aggression pacts. We shall call them military aid treatises and the like. But I expect my forces to be deployed legally and willingly without opposition when this arrives. I have already secured Ostergald. In fact, the Duke was very affable, spoke very highly of Glory. If that becomes the area of the second emergence of this being, we shall be ready and we shall have permission. I have already commissioned in Ostergald at my expense, great expense, may I point out, the ability to teleport vast amounts of troops into Ostergott.
Oh, that sounds really bad.
For you.
That is really bad.
It's
That
really
is-
bad.
For you.
Stupidly bad. I am going to throw the card so hard at you that it will probably cut.
We just Freddy just watches us grab like a bunch of wild cards and throw them.
I am going to load the card into the witch luck pistol and shoot Glory.
You know, like those guns that you can get that shoot out like dollar bills.
Combat.
We're just gonna pull out
Okay.
a load of those with the cards.
No.
and just be like-
You're gonna have to invent them first.
No, farewell. It's one of those like automatic crossbows, but instead of bolts, it fires the cards.
Yeah, just like-
Yeah. It's just you've changed the motor in a card shuffler, card dealer. That's all
Yeah.
it is. To the point where now it's got a good range on it. I mean, you do know an artificer who's very good at projecting things, so you just need to go back and get blood.
A minigun that fires your experiences are not universal card.
Yes.
Anyway.
Anyway.
We were in
Anyway,
the middle of
sorry.
a really
Indeed.
dramatic speech.
So
Yes.
long as Duke Edmund completes his part of the ritual, we can arrive even in our true form.
We need to stop that.
Simon,
Mm-hmm.
I've put my hands behind my back where my bag of holding is, reached inside of it, touched the green badge, and telepathically I'm repeating everything verbatim to Renata.
Oh.
Valid.
Valid.
Once you've done that, Renata goes, "Yes, I've been made aware. I've checked through the ritual. It seems to be legitimate. They can only come through if Edmund wills it.
Is he willing?
In the right circumstances. You know what he's like. He prides himself on protection and martial law above all else. Allowing another army to come in is unlike him. But we did suffer very much during the last attack. He's not beyond making such alliances.
Perhaps
Not only that, but he concerns himself more with controlling the other dukes and archdukes of the empire. If something was to happen and he was to respond by bringing in a dragon and a bunch of foreign forces who honor their agreement with him, that would put him in very high standing in the empire. A lot of these dukes and lords try to court Scoura, but for the most part, Scoura just see them as washed up aristocrats living in previous glory.
I assume the concept of once you open that door, you can never close it and they're not going away and you're going to lose control is not wasted on him.
He has already asked me if there's ways of collapsing the ritual, and to show a little immodesty, I can fold this ritual up like a paper plane.
Good to know.
Okay.
Paper boat, yes, planes don't exist.
Paper. Okay, anyway, back to the dramatic speech.
Ideas, opinions. Stand not on ceremony. I need to know. Hope steps forward, and you notice now that she gets into the room proper that her left eye seems to be inactive. I have spoken to the legions of our great god, Tiamat, and power will be granted to us if we are willing to accept tests of our faith. Everything will be with a price, but ultimately I believe that Tiamat sees this as something that she would want to have executed with the greatest of prowess. She also wishes to see this usurper crushed. Ideal walks down the stairs, goes up to what is a very weak Hope, places her hands underneath Hope's face and says, "Wear these with pride. This shows your duty and your commitment to it. Maybe you named her wrong, my lord." And Freynia just gives a wan smile.
How much do these guys?
Curiosity steps forward, pauses as she walks in. She does give a slight look to you, and she did look at you earlier.
Mhm.
Our forces are ready, my liege. I shall lead them myself. I shall bring your fury to him. It shall be evident, and I shall strike him down or die trying.
Right.
Glor will take a step forward. We have continued our investigations onto the architect and his insurgents. We have a few leads that may prove fruitful, but as my allies can tell you, this cult has plagued most of Elaria at this point, and many of the undead have been quite willing to rise up.
They would do. Undead are always ready to follow, even those that seem to be masters of their own fate. We will see the same of the weak cultists who follow their false idols rather than the true God.
You guys are aware that the guy we're planning on fighting is the architect of the planes, the one who literally designed the planes of existence and knows everything about it.
Mote of divinity. He knows how this plane was originally created, but
He doesn't know what it's turned into, Eclipse. We've been over this.
Yes, I know.
Exactly.
It's why when we last fought him, one of the things that stood out is the fact that he could not foresee individuality and uniqueness.
Yes.
He doesn't know of our history. He only knows of how this place was created. He'll know about races and things that have been created from things that he originally created. But I believe that there are complexities that we have developed over years of social evolution that will still remain to be one of our advantages. But thank you, Eclipse of the Moon. Thank you for sharing that information. We were aware, but it means something to us that you would support us.
I just don't want them to rule.
Commander, undead problem. I presume that you're already addressing it.
It's our job.
It is indeed. We haven't had a problem with undead here in some years, but the cultists weren't part of your remit. Tommy, have you learnt anything as you've been taking down the undead? They do seem to have more forbidden knowledge than the living.
No, nothing.
No, not particularly.
We must
Sadly,
step out of what we know then. The advantage that we have on him, he also has on us. We have seen too much, lived too much, changed our priorities since this being was last fully here. And as such, what machinations could he have come up with? What abilities, what concepts would he be throwing for us? We must be ready for something that is outside of our ken. Our meditations with the Queen have revealed that he was primarily responsible for this plane of existence. He is aware of how planes are created. To our knowledge, he is aware of the abyss, being that he has resided there for some time, at least in a plane within the abyss, which presumably means that he knows about hell as well. But I wonder, the younger planes, that of Mechanus, for example, that of the Underdark, is he aware of these, I wonder?
Good question.
Would be an interesting avenue to pursue.
All of the planes of existence when they were created, and I can guarantee he will know about the elemental planes as they were created at the same time as this plane. This was the primary plane. We are central. The other planes depend on us. Other planes of existence could be destroyed and we would still go on. But if the plane that we currently reside in was destroyed, it wouldn't take long for the other planes to be destroyed in turn, or to just simply not exist. The interdependency has always been through this hub. I believe that that's why he wants to primarily attack this plane of existence. He believes that changes made here will reflect in any other plane that's connected to it. Sadly, he's not wrong. But it does mean that we can go further afield to find our alliances. I have already courted the City of Brass, the Ivory Tower. There's a bunch of others that I have sent missives to in the hope that we can call on our previous business and trust with them to be able to continue. I have even courted the Drow. I believe it is in everybody's interests to fight this war. Unfortunately, I think that the more support that we try to garner, the more we will invite those who secretly support him into our fold. Which is why I have started an inquisition. I need to know that my allies are indeed allies and can be trusted.
Spanish Inquisition.
I trust my people because I have placed them in a society where they can be trusted. I do not trust others. Present guests excluded, of course.
Right.
I expect us all to rally together on this pursuit.
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure? Are you sure? Trusting us.
But it matters not. Go. Speak amongst yourselves. I am approachable if you wish to ask me of any guidance or knowledge from my many years. He starts walking up the dais, and as he does so, the form elongates, tapers, and starts to become this giant fucking black dragon.
As I still have my hand in my bag, I switch the sort of symbol to everybody else, so just the group can hear this.
Yeah.
And I just go, anybody else hear the death knell of an empire?
Yeah.
How many times in great history has an inquisition into one's own deeply loyal people resulted in, well,
Internal
Don't
collapse, yeah. Yeah,
a
that's
complete
exactly what
and
happened to
utter
Jordan. So I'm just seeing a parallel going on here.
collapse.
I don't want to
Especially
say
everything.
more because I don't want to say more because I feel the people here have the means and the way to tap into these forms of communications, but we're gonna have a talk. Farewell.
I think we are.
Excellent.
is it
Steps
polite,
forward,
Glory,
grabs hold of Glory, and
to,
says, "We need to talk."
Oh yeah, I'm coming along, by the way.
Yes, all of you can come along.
He goes, yes, of course. Come, quick. Takes you into one
On
of
the
the
way,
ambassador
I tap on Hope's shoulder to
yeah,
see if she wants to join us.
I
She
glare at her.
looks at you, then looks down and shakes her head no with some shame and follows on Ideal's coattails.
Things don't seem going well for her.
Don't
sorry,
gloat,
I
it's not
forgot.
classy.
I forgot to ask earlier, but how bad did those scars look, and how fresh?
They looked magically healed and yet almost impossible to heal further.
How fresh?
So they've still got that horrible pinkish red hue.
Yeah,
Question, Simon.
yeah, as in done within the last few days.
Question, Simon.
Mhm.
Did Hope came in before or after I put the I just smeared a little blood on the door?
She was in a side chamber to this big hall.
Okay.
So she didn't come through that door. She came through a side door. She was in like an antechamber. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Excellence takes you to one side and says, okay, straight down to it. I've managed to broker the deal of a lifetime.
Yes, you're looking for Kantala.
He pauses and goes, yes. So you know the deal already.
Slightly more opportune moment to Eclipse, because then you can gloat more.
I'm sorry, I got really excited. I really wanted to say it.
I know. But
we don't have more time for gloating.
Mm-hmm.
This is the deal of a lifetime. I can get the largest single army in hell.
No.
What's the price?
Carnitava, that's it. You just throw some piss out succubus my way and we get a gigantic army.
No.
It's an open and closed case. There's no caveats. There's
Hard
no
now.
side deals. Literally, give her to him and he will join in on the fight. I think he's going to join in on the fight anyway. But
devil army fighting for me.
Excellence. Even I know that there is no such thing as an open and shut deal with the devil.
You'd be surprised. There are some. How do you think I'm still alive? My point is, he's so coming. He clucks his tongue at you and goes, Glory, you understand me on this. This architect is coming with demons. Grandfather's troops are good. Mother's troops are good, but these are demons.
Excellence.
And the point is that the demon and devil war has never gone one side over the other. Even if you were to get the army, they wouldn't be that much of a use because the demons already know how to fight them.
Not these ones. These ones don't come from hell, from the abyss. They come from his. They spilled in thousands upon thousands of years ago when he went in.
Yes, so we met some of them.
They're a completely different line.
Excellence.
Yes, Excellence, we met them.
Yes, I've read Glory's report to Father.
Yes, and did you think she put everything in the report?
Would you?
To Grandfather, absolutely.
You're a liar. I mean, come on.
Excellence, I presume you're at least a culture person, even if you are probably the dumbest motherfucker I've ever met.
He gives you a shrinking look, but he feels this is too important to tangent on.
Are you aware of Are you aware of what happened the last time an army of the size I presume you're referring to came into the prime material plane?
Now that's where I can help you. We're willing to create a sinkhole. A transplanar sinkhole.
Oh, there's always another thing.
As the architect starts spilling demons into the prime material plane, we'll get it so that many of them don't even land on the prime material plane and come straight down to the pit.
What? Oh my god. I just realized something.
Is
This
it about
might
the heart
have
of
been-
Jordan?
I'm thinking that the architect has tried this before, and Jordan was the one who stopped him last time.
Oh.
You know
Well,
what?
that's a
That is
thought.
a valid idea.
Yeah, that's a really good. Yeah, that's
That
yeah.
does sound like correct because of how that event played out.
And
Yes,
if that's
and he
true,
tried
guess
to
who
do
And I
it
is-
assume
devils.
you're aware of this, Excellence, because you're supposed to know more
Hold
about
on a second,
the
I've got to look
Infernal
up a
than me.
fucking spell.
Well, would you look at that and guess who is the last living, closest living relative to Jordan when that supposedly happened? Oh, yes, it's the pissant succubus.
Yes.
Hmm.
Still convinced
Detect
Eclipse is her resurrected by the
It's
way.
just a minute. It's just
It's
a minute.
it's a minute. Thank God for that. Okay, so in that case, it's gonna be Farewell's trick. Farewell, give me an insight check.
I'm gonna use my my new dispel dice that finally came because I ordered them. in, like,
Nice.
Is it the
November.
fancy ones you ordered?
It's the really fancy ones that I
Hell
ordered
yeah.
Oh,
in
nice.
2019 that COVID fucked up.
And also,
Yeah.
you know what that means. If you fail this roll, it means that you've wasted your money on nothing.
Sorry, what did you want? Simon?
Insight.
Insight check.
Okay, that
You're
is a
supposedly
23.
good at it.
It's a split second, Phil. A split second, but there's a definite moment of how the fuck, and then he brings on the courtly demeanor again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It all makes sense, and it makes sense that they would have, because you had Kanitava being the link with the devils that also brought in. It could have all been a cover-up for the thing.
You
It's-
know, Eclipse, you are speaking more truth than I think you realize, or even we realize. There is a potential that you may be proverbial nail hammer head. And
Yes.
Excellence turns to you and says, "It's an interesting theory for one normally who is chasing feathers and rainbows.
Well, that's only what I show you.
Karnitava may know things. This is true. If she turns out to be useless,
Well,
at least we tried. But she's hardly going to help you.
why?
why?
You're not
you
her
kn-
sort.
Do you know
You're
who
the exact
Karnitava?
opposite of her sort.
Have you tried telling
Excuse you?
her, and I point at Eclipse, have you tried telling her
Excellence.
no?
Darling cousin, I'm not like you need to keep a closer eye on your allies, considering they've been trying to court me for the past while. No,
Well-
Eclipse.
Of course they have. They play the game as much as we do.
course they do.
My point is, as grandfather said, we need every advantage we can get, and I'm offering one here.
And I'm willing to take it if she turns out to be useless. But that's
Yeah.
for us to find out later, when we found her.
That's what I was looking for, that pragmatism.
Well, she's currently
No.
Just bear in mind that if your deal with the Hell's Ghost hits up, they're going to see the entire situation as an all-you-can-eat buffet, and you can bet your ass your soul is going to be the first meal in line.
Oh, my dear boy, do you honestly think I didn't have this problem when I first joined the pit?
Again, you're probably the dumbest motherfucker I know, so.
Or your soul is already forfeit, so he has nothing to lose.
No.
That's
I don't think
just
Excellence
say we
really
will
is
see.
stupid enough to give that up yet.
Ah. You have so much faith in him.
It's true that I would give up my soul for my family and my people. If it became necessary to do so, I would do so with very little hesitation. However, I am smarter than that. I've been able to weave my way through hell in the same way that I'm sure that my darling cousin here has been able to gather her power. I am no mere diabolist or warlock. I meet with these people to a certain extent as equals, if not in rank, intellectual equals.
Are you done yet?
Well, I wouldn't say that your latest find is intellectual equal.
No. I chose Barakaimos for two good reasons.
So what
First
do you know about Carnitava?
Fine. There was an emergence a long time ago, back in the time of Jordan. Jordan didn't know what he was fighting, but tore it to pieces all the same.
Oh my god, my theories!
He was blessed by the gods, and with the power of the gods, he struck it down. He smote it with the power of the gods behind him, with Pelor himself, and erased it from existence so that it wasn't able to call on its master. After that, hell became interested. Wasn't just another king to test to see whether he was greedy, sinful, worthy of hell.
Mm-hmm.
This was someone they needed. 100%. They sent him whatever he wanted. And genuinely, they didn't even make deals to a certain extent. A deal was struck, a form of contract, but more mortal contracts, a loophole in hell itself. These were literal political contracts. No mention of souls or devils. Troops arrived on a daily basis, flocking to serve what was going to be the High King of the material plane.
Yes,
But it wasn't enough. They needed to get into his inner sanctum. They needed to learn what he had learned. They sent him one of their best. They sent in Carnitava.
also known as Lilith in the... She took the form of a half-elf. I assume you know this.
I didn't need to know those details. Thank you. Yes, Lilith.
For such a smart for such a self-called smart ass, he's really doesn't know shit about it.
Oh, shit.
He just didn't consider that information important.
Yeah. It's the whole
scholars like this have enough hubris that they don't look at the minutiae.
Okay,
it's the whole. Are you sure you're worthy of being called Glory's nemesis?
Yeah,
Or
like...
rival?
I
Because
think
at the moment, I think really you're batting 0-4, and you should really have a word with yourself.
Excellence now is bestowed with the title of the dumbest, smartest person in the room.
Oh yeah.
There
Without
are stories
question.
I could tell you, having run labs for most of my career.
Yeah, of just how stupid, supposedly very intelligent people
I often
are.
say that part of my job is to stop the geniuses from licking the furniture. But anyway,
this is excellence.
Yeah. So he says they sent in their best. They sent in Carnitava. Carnitava is not just some being of lust. She's cultured, spent more time in, well, back then, the prime material plane than any other fiend. Deliberately going there not to do hell's work, but to learn about the prime material plane. She spent entire lifetimes as a mortal, faking her own death, only to emerge somewhere else, to live another life, and to learn. She was the best. And she got into Jordan's court. Millennia long experience of being able to ingratiate yourself into the great and powerful. And she did so. However, her succubi nature in the presence of such greatness meant that she took it further than her brief and didn't just simply be a person that he wanted to be close to the person he wanted to be closest to. An insult on top of injury. He knew nothing. All this work we were doing. Notice he says we. Mm-hmm. All of this work we were doing, and he knew nothing. He simply just smoked this thing. He smoked this thing down and knew nothing.
And then she fell in love.
Yes. And he looks at Aiden.
Sorry to interrupt. That was a pretty enthralling tale. Could you please just clarify one point for me? What do you mean by we?
Colloquialism. You spend enough time in the pit, you always have to talk about.
I don't believe him anyways, but I am going to insight check anyways. Piss. That's going to be a fuck math. I think that's a 13.
Yeah, hard to read. It sounds legit. You know, that you have to talk the talk in the same way you have to in Attles Around. He says he knew nothing, but he carried something. By defeating that demon, he wielded something of creation.
The heart of Jordan.
There's no time for poetry, Eclipse. He had some kind of power over the thing that he had killed.
The heart of Jordan. It's an ancient artifact.
Is it now?
Well, believed to be.
I want to slap him.
I always thought the heart of Jordan was a fairy tale.
Well, no one knows exactly what it is, but it's very much real.
Work in our line of business long enough, and you find out that a lot of fairy tales tend to be in some way
maybe
or
that was
another
it.
real.
Maybe the heart was important because, and this is the important part, he did something to Karnatava that no one's ever done before.
He made her fall in love.
Contrary to popular belief, fiends can fall in love. What they can't do is grow a soul.
Boss. Now that makes so much more sense, don't you think, Eclipse?
Yes. And I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Fiends aren't created by the cascade. Not like us. In fact, tieflings only have souls because we are half-breeds. And that came about in a different way anyway.
Yes.
She is the only, if hell is to be believed, the only non-souled being to have gained a soul somewhere other than the cascade. If true, Jordan did a godly act, momentarily creating his own cascade.
Fascinating.
Not just fascinating, souls are the...
Oh yeah, we've dealt with a lot of soul excellence. You'll have to excuse my lack of enthusiasm for this academic feat, but with some of the things I've seen in the last few weeks, honestly, it's not
did
that
you know?
surprising.
Would you like me to cast Cure Wounds for that burn?
Actually, I'm sorry for another aside.
No, I remember the time of my life. Go on. Let's drag Glory's cousin some more.
Sorry for another aside, but I want to touch the pendant, like the Green Organization pendant.
Yeah. Sure.
And quickly talk to Farewell.
Yeah, go for it.
Farewell, Do you have that thing where you can sense evil nearby, like devils and the thing and the like?
Yes.
Can you do me a favor and see if you sense anything on excellence?
Oh, without question, there's something here.
No. I'm not saying about something in here. I'm saying about something in him.
Yeah.
That slip up of the we really set off red flags for me, and I need
I'm gonna cast True Sight.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. Go for it, Cora. You've got it.
Okay.
Because I think generally she would do that anyway because like they're all chatting away and
Last
she's probably
time,
just like
we
vroom,
talked
but she's like
excellence, he
I
summoned
wonder,
the,
vroom.
he had like bodyguards.
Yeah.
So yeah, why not?
So she's gonna do that. True seeing it is not true sight, but same sort of thing.
Gives you true sight.
So duration noticing. I don't think. Do I need to not do anything?
No, you just cast
I
it.
just cast
just
it and it
cast
lasts an hour. So yeah, I probably did this. You know what? I possibly did this, but maybe it's retconning stuff. But I possibly did this when we walked into the court.
No,
She's got an
that's
hour
fair.
to like just unless that's too early. But at some point she probably cast it, going, I just wonder, is there anything hidden here?
Plenty of things. You saw plenty of hidden doors and walkways.
Yeah.
Hidden doors, hidden guards, because you can
Cora's
see
like looking around and
invisible
shit.
things.
Yeah.
And you saw Franier in both his forms
Yeah.
Yep.
simultaneously. You would have seen in the ethereal plane, interestingly, you would have seen ethereal guards.
Interesting.
And it's not that weird. You need to be protected on
It's kind
every
of
front.
weird. That's pretty fucking weird.
Yeah. He's got top level anti-assassination.
I have depending on what obviously comes out of this site thing, I do have an idea along the lines of what you're thinking, Rodrigo.
Yeah.
I'll have to touch him.
Fair enough. I sadly don't have anything, which is why I failed the insight check, so that's why Aiden is.
Yeah, I've got to make a.
That's why Aiden is looking for Farewell for the assist.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Hermit. Normal for Scour.
I was thinking exactly something very similar, and I was actually looking through my spell lists to see what I had prepared going into this conversation. And one of the things that I prepared for this, just in case he decided to summon demons, was not only banish, but a spell I've not used yet, which is called Dispel Evil and Good. So not
Would
only
that
does
remove eclipse?
well,
No, it's only celestial beings.
Protects me from fey, undead, and creatures originating from beyond the material plane for its duration. All of them have attacks, disadvantage, and attacks against me. But the important thing is, I can end the spell early by doing two things. One is called Break Enchantment. As your action, you touch a creature that you can reach that is charmed, frightened, or possessed by a celestial, an elemental, a fiend, a fae, or an undead. And that breaks the enchantment. Or Dismissal. I make a melee spell attack against a celestial, blah, 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 blah. On a hit, I can attempt to drive the creature back to its home plane.
Okay. So first of all, the true seeing.
Yeah.
Doesn't say explicitly, but you do see, Cora, that there is a symbol on his head. The symbol is not one of the more well-known symbols, but you've spent enough time around Farewell that I'm going to say that you've probably been shown it and you know it's bad. It's glowing with the color of tarfire. Tarfire very specifically being the color of fire that you get in the house.
Okay. I will relay that through the badge that I see this, and I'll try and describe the symbol that I see.
Yeah, no roll for farewell. This is one of the meta symbols for Asmodeus.
Does that mean he's controlling him, or is it just like an allegiance symbol?
Yeah, do we know what it means? And did I see it on him before? Because I saw him down in the hells. Oh no, I wouldn't have seen it because I wasn't doing true sight.
You weren't doing true seeing.
I've just forgotten. I've seen him through true sight before.
It was not there before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So last time we were in Skuldra, Farewell used true sight and saw him.
Saw him with his
lackeys,
devil lackeys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It looks for all the world like a baptism mark.
I see.
Right. He's staring away from the Dragon Queen.
Interesting.
If arguably worse, whilst Glory has forged her own path and has forced her grandfather to acknowledge her own path.
Yeah. Well, he's just like,
Excellent.
Under sugar daddy.
Has sold himself to a different place and is not doing so with his own strength. Arguably.
Yeah.
So, Nick, what does farewell do as we wrap up?
Does the baptism mark give me any indication that he is under undue control, or do I believe that this is the kind of mark, based on how Cora's described it, that someone would take willingly?
You know that a tenet of faith is self-agency. That's not to say that a divine magic user can't dominate someone. Of course they can. But to be baptized into the faith, it must be a willing act. And that is true of all faith. It's one of the immutable parts, good or evil religion. You have to be of true faith, or you're not a part of that religion.
Yeah, there is part of me that actually is ordained to declare jihad.
I mean, I'm right behind you, buddy.
This actually requires me to seek full on
TBK.
TBK. Just no, we go to war, boy.
Yeah.
Welcome to the lawful evil society of Athelzaran,
Oh
where every visit is always putting you into horrible situations.
There's a reason that Aiden treats Athelzaran like we don't go there. That entire area, like all of Skara, radioactive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you weren't coming here with Glory, this would be going into enemy territory. This would be, at some point we need to do a campaign, maybe with different players, where they go to Athelzaran and realize they have none of the protections that you guys have, and that it is enemy territory.
That would be hilarious. I'm also looking forward for that assassin one shot. Series of one shots.
It was going to be a bunch of one shots. Yeah, I mean it's in the book, but I'm doing some other stuff.
Anyways.
So farewell. What are you doing?
Let's save it for next week.
Okay.
I have a plan.
Yeah,
I have a
plan. Dot.
But I think this is a good place to stop for next week.
Yeah. Well, I found that interesting because
when to get smoked.
When you said dispel good and evil, I was like, oh shit, hang on, that also affects Faye.
It does.
It does. But I think it's you target it. Yeah, you target
it. When you first cast it, it's a general thing.
Yeah, there's a little bubble that goes around me. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. So unless Cora attacks you, it doesn't really matter. But then the dismissal, you could potentially
push Cora back into the Feywild.
Push Cora into the Feywild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Express
Hilarious.
ticket. Anyway,
you're annoying me. She just goes,
see, Hermit, you get it.
Yeah, there you go, Felicia. You've got a +1 there.
I mean,
no, but
Tiamat lives in hell, though. She lives in the second layer of hell.
No,
she's in prison there.
No, she's in Avernus now. The law has been updated.
Yeah,
sorry, yes,
in
Ivernus, yes.
Illyrian canon, she isn't imprisoned, Simon has said.
She is chained to a giant sword in what would now be Avernus rather than hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, she is imprisoned.
Okay.
Yeah.
She is
Either way, like, Glory has the perfect way of dealing with this. I know what we're gonna do.
Okay.
And it's gonna be very simple.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Is it just ignore it?
Exterminatus. But anyway.
No. We go talk to
TVK.
Auntie Ideal.
Oh, right. Hi, Ideal.
Because everyone knows a three
We're gonna
major
work
heart.
on
You know?
it.
So, yeah,
a
it's...
breach of fate very well. Let's just say it like that.
Anyway, a big thank you to Corinne, Kate, Nick, Rodrigo, and Felicia for their story today as we go deeper into this and also very much closer to the end. The big battles are brewing and it's time for you guys to...
Which is why we're delaying it as much as possible.
Get those final levels. Well, I'm not going to rush you, but we are at that part of the story.
I mean, we still have 2 jars left.
Yeah, you got 2 jars. You've got a few other
we're
bits
just gonna...
Got 6 levels.
We're just gonna find them at a fucking Home Depot or 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
That's where we're gonna find them. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just assemble Carnitava and then have
Like
Jordan
Voltron.
join the
Like a...
fight.
Don't use Carnitava to fucking Voltron,
She literally
please.
has several pieces, so she's Voltron.
Yeah.
I didn't know that we were playing a fucking Shin Megami Tensei game. Holy fuck.
Hey, you like those?
I do like those.
Anyway.
But, and also a big thanks to our viewers. We're not going to raid tonight because, frankly, I'm knackered. And we've done quite a bit of raiding recently. But you have a fantastic weekend. And we will be joining the lovely Ed and everybody else for Numenera on Monday. See you then and have a lovely weekend.
Have a lovely night, everyone.
Night.
Night.
Oh, we went from there.